Hello there, and welcome back to the SWTVC show, live TVC show. We always forget that it's not a TV show. The live stream home of the SWTVC crew and the ongoing push for the existence, expansion, and success of the heritage scale of Star Wars collecting. I'm John. You may know me as the Vintage Concepts on Instagram. Joining me today is fellow SWTVC team member Tyler, SW Collector 3.75. I'm all jumbled up. I got to take a breath. How you doing, Tyler?
Good. I'm excited to do this. It's been a while.
Yes. And today we have not just us, but we would be enough. We're enough, dang it. But we have two special guests who feel right at home here on YouTube. We got Bossk Bounty. Tim, how you doing?
Good, thank you, mate. How are you? Thanks for the invite.
Good. Thanks for being here. And we got Toys of the Way rounding us out here. How you doing?
Hello there. How's everyone doing?
Hello. Am I having audio issues? Are people experiencing audio issues? Is that all right? Or just number issues from me? Okay, we're good?
We're good.
Somebody called me Jumbled John in the chat, but it's just my brain's jumbled.
Jumbled John. Oh gosh.
I'm Jabba John, not Jumbled John. Okay, so yes. How are you doing at Toys of the Way? I was starting to ask you ahead of time. I know you recently moved. Your shelves are looking great. How are you feeling about all that so far?
Tired. It's so much stuff to put up. You think it's gonna be easy, but then you're like, all right, one figure at a time. Just like, where's this?
No,
thing?
it's not easy. It's very time consuming. Yeah,
absolutely. Also,
that looks phenomenal, man.
Thanks, man. Got a lot more work to do.
Yes, I'm still in the same room, and I'm still not even close to set up.
Didn't you just open your ghost?
I did. It's sitting on the ground behind me. And Tim, how are you doing? I know it's very late for you on a Sunday, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm all good.
Nice.
I do like the lights in that room.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Are they like little? Because my mate Dean's got some like little magnetic ones that change color and stuff. Is that what they are?
No, these are like LED strip lights. They have like a little sticky backing that you can put on them, and then some of them actually have like a plastic channel that covers them on those like floating shelves.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, they're great. You can just pick them up on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive.
Nice. All right, so yes, what's this pile of troopers behind Tyler?
Oh, that's just my my snow troopers that I still have to unpack. And I got this big box of 65 of these guys. So I have to unpack. I have to let them breathe, as Steve would say. I have a lot of opening to do. My goodness. Someone's gonna be like, you're making so much trash for the landfills, and I'm like, what does it matter if there's 100 going to my trash can or 100 people's different trash cans? Like, somehow I'm like bad for the environment, I guess. I don't know. Whatever, man.
It's all your fault. So Tim, I also wanted to touch on last time Evan and I streamed. We talked with John Miko about Last Figure Standing, and we gave everybody all the dates. We showed the calendar a bunch, and since then it has been pushed a little bit. So now we have even more time to work on our top 10 lists, everybody. So
yeah, I think we just felt that with the slow start of the HasLab, I think we don't really want to get in the way of that really, and have something else for the community to be sort of concentrating on and tuning in on, whatever. And let's just have our full sort of concentration on the HasLab, and then when that's out of the way, and then we might get some more reveals as well in between then.
Yeah, hopefully
the Strange will get revealed.
BossCon, right?
Yeah. And then we don't have to have that one in the
yeah
or anything that seems to like get a lot of backing. Do you know what I mean? Over the past however long, you just want it sort of revealed, don't you? And then we can sort of push other cool stuff to the top.
Yeah, it's like they know we want that stuff.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next thing. We want more stuff too. So, so market calendar, September 27th. Stay tuned for that. Let's say hi to the chat real quick. Thank you all for being here as well. Let's see.
You got a good group here already. Over 100 people in here. That's great.
Midi-chlorian, Texas, is that what you said? My Star Wars guys. Howdy, folks. Daniel Chart 99, positive on the prequels, as always, my friend.
Why do I feel like that was sarcasm?
Sci-fi dude, what's up? Hey, Toys of the... Hey, wait a minute. You're right there.
Two places.
But you walk both worlds. So today we'll be going over the San Diego Comic-Con reveals and news, including, obviously, of course, the LAAT Republic Gunship HasLab. But in those comments, throw us any questions and comments you have throughout the show, and we'll get to them when we can. And thank you all for being here. So first, let's start out with a little mail call. As with last time, 2 waves are still making their way through the channels right now, which you guys, our fine YouTube pals, have already reviewed, at least most of them. The mainline wave with Crosshair, Moff Gideon, Cobb Vanth, Marin, and the Rocket Trooper, which has also been appearing at Walmart. And then the fan channel wave with Asajj Ventress, Carson Teva, Agent Callus, and repacks of Ponda Baba and Dengar. Wow, and here's Chewie.
Chewie and Pat.
Beautiful.
Chewie says hello, everyone.
Hello there.
Yeah. So I think there's some people over here that still don't even have
Right.
Shin Hati.
Oh wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that wave got is that the same wave with the Snow Trooper? I can't remember now. But there was
Yeah.
right before that.
Yeah, Snowtrooper was
gosh.
before it. It's the fan channel.
so they like the Balin wave got delayed. And then as we know, all the other waves are just turning up at the same time, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So for us, I think Star Action Figures are getting those 2 waves that you just mentioned at the end of this month.
Okay.
But the others, don't know. It's just been all over the place this year, really, to be honest.
Thanks. So what was the last new thing that you got in that wasn't an early review, like through the standard channels over there?
I think some people are getting the 501st Trooper, so that there's like a couple of figures from that wave are coming, but not the whole wave.
Okay, wow. Yeah, that's Balin, Shin, Yord, Jedi Legend Obi-Wan, and the Mandalorian Maul.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people over here don't have Yord, for example.
Dang.
Matthew Brazier down there, forgive me if I pronounced that wrong, but one half of Twin Suns Collecting says 4 waves are due at the end of August from Hasbro UK.
There you go.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Wow.
That's going to be an expensive late August, early September between that HasLab. My goodness.
Exactly right. Yeah, just in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
For how many gunships you want to buy?
Double
Seems to
slam your wallet.
Always
Of
kind of work
course.
out this way.
Of course.
As a slow opener over here, I did finally open the Balin and Shin wave last night in advance of this, so I'm a couple waves behind, but those are some great figures. I also opened the Moma Nadon and Imperial Armored Commando Deluxe, and those are both incredible figures. And I know, Tim, you just reviewed the Snowtrooper 4-pack and also the Stormtroopers of the Empire 3-pack the other day on your channel.
Yeah, so this one I've had for a while. I just haven't got round to reviewing it. I didn't feel there's too much urgency, really, with the fact that we've got the single carded, and this is why I was kind of not laughing at Tyler, but he's got all those Snowtroopers back there, and essentially this is really all you need.
Yeah.
It's just that sort of timing thing with Hasbro, isn't it? It's like I would imagine not everyone would have still kept their pre-orders open for however many you did. They may have cancelled their single card and thought, right, I'm just going to buy a bunch of these because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
For sure.
A little bit cheaper per figure,
Are those still available? Because I need to get a pack or 2 of those just for more of those long pulse cannon rifles.
I was going to say, you don't have enough Snowtroopers back there, so you got to get a few more.
Yeah, you get 4, you get 2 of the longer rifles. Do you not get the longer rifle with the single release?
Nope, just the E11.
Ah,
I think the last time we got that longer rifle was with the Shadow Trooper with the translucent blue plastic that gave me great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And yes,
It's the same sculpt as that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Okay.
And they are still available.
I do have a lot of those then.
Yeah.
We need this guy.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
I mentioned that today in the video. We do indeed need that guy. Yeah.
This is a custom 3D printed armor pieces, and I'm using Gergerod as the or Gergerod, however you pronounce it.
Jerry.
It's a custom Veers, but we need Veers, Hasbro. But anyway,
Definitely.
Yeah, because obviously we've got the commander now, haven't we? We got
Yep.
Mhm.
this guy.
We also need the AT-AT driver as well, of course.
Of course.
Yes,
The
maybe
Yeah,
with
so,
the-
so the boots on the commander, I think, are the same boots as the AT-AT driver.
Yes, I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah.
And they also, we've said it before, but it has the a lot of the same parts, the gloves and the boots and the shoulder pads from the Flame Trooper from Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, which is one of the last like Imperial troopers from those games that they haven't done yet. Seems like another easy thing that could be fun.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, we know the AT-AT is making another appearance in the Mando and Grogu movie next year. So hopefully some of the AT-AT related stuff will be
Slightly different though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a Rebel. It's like the
got
same
like a-
version from Rebels and
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
and the Jedi games, I
Yeah.
believe, which is more like concept art and stuff. But
Hmm.
So maybe that was like an older model of AT-AT before the ones that we see in Empire Strikes Back. That's what I'm thinking. Or it's a different model. I don't
and
know.
part of the
Either way.
remnant, it's like still holding on to older.
Yeah,
there
really
was-
old. Whatever they can scrounge up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty resource strapped.
Speaking of old stuff and droids, are we just speaking of droids? Not really. Let's speak of droids. But I just got R2BOO B0025 Boot 25, who is apparently on Corvus when Mando and Ahsoka are doing their thing over there.
Cool.
But I should also be getting my friend right now is at Disneyland looking for that the Imperial probe droid, the Probe Mate Hyperspace Pod with Imperial droid at Disneyland.
Yeah, I saw that. That's 3.75, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's like a slightly smaller probe droid. It was in the Obi-Wan Series 4-pack a couple years ago. So it's a repaint of that, but it has the pod,
right.
the pod that was planned and canceled for like TVC 1.0 Legacy Collection era.
Is it an exact match of that? Like if you
Yeah,
look
that's what
in
I was
the
gonna ask.
I
if you
think
look in the book that Blue Milk put out, is
Yeah.
it the exact same pod?
no, because
or-
it's a Disney sculpt, so they do their own
Okay.
things from the ground
Yeah.
up. But
well, yes and
but
no.
the-
I mean, they put out a lot of Hasbro
Yeah, sure.
Astromechs.
yeah. But so other than the if it's not just recycling Astromechs, then
Yeah.
it's new stuff from them.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's supposed to be the same thing. But
Gotcha.
any other new stuff you guys want to talk about that you've got?
I'm just happy to have this guy finally. Somebody to go with Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally.
I have
Really-
not opened
really
him,
good
but
player.
he looks pretty good. I'm excited to have
Amazing.
this guy. Very excited to have this guy,
Oh, nice. Yes, your favorite.
even though he's missing his head. I want the Praetorians now. We've got this guy. We've got this guy. We've got 2 out of 3. I need my
Yeah.
Praetorians now. Come on, Hasbro.
They can do a big pack.
Give me my red guards. Give them to me.
Yes.
Give them to me. I want them.
So, all right, shall we go back in time a little bit to San Diego Comic-Con a couple weeks ago?
Do it.
What?
Enjoying the summer sun here in San Diego, but last stream that Evan and Miko and I were on just before Comic-Con, you guys have already touched on these reveals on your own channels. I know Tyler is ready to talk about the gunship, but before we get there, let's talk about these just a little bit, starting off with the Jedi Spirits special action figure set with Anakin Skywalker, Yoda, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I will run down some of the details real quick. It's a fall convention exclusive available at New York Comic Con and MCM London with limited quantities on Hasbro Pulse afterwards. Are you going to MCM London, Tim?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to work out whether Hasbro have got a presence there this year and whether there'll be a, soft panel, as it were.
Yeah. So, yeah, every once in a while they do some reveals and stuff there. But, so this is the first, it's similar to a Black Series 3-pack from 2023, though those figures were on individual cards and these are on that special 3-pack style. This is the first time all 3 spirits have been available in the same style in the 3.75-inch line since 1998. Because Obi-Wan was updated in the original trilogy collection in 2004, and Anakin was updated with a bunch of soft goods. They call it Disco Anakin, some people, in 30th Anniversary collection in 2007. They actually just released a Force Ghost Yoda in the Epic World of Action multi-pack, the 4-inch line, which is still the first Yoda anywhere near this scale, Spirit Yoda, since 1998. And none of those look like they match each other, so finally they're in the same style. Yoda looks like the same tooling as his previous TVC figure. I don't think we got an individual Yoda, but Obi-Wan is the upcoming one, but he has plastic lower robes instead of soft goods, which I didn't realize until I was putting this together. But
Yeah.
so
That makes sense. He only needs a stand.
yeah. But so then I wonder if they can. I would like to see this done. Maybe on the alt card from the Kenner days, but painted in his living style, his living vibes. And then Anakin is the most new. He has the same legs from the 2025 Anakin's The Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith ones. Presumably the same left arm and upper right arm, but he's got a new torso and new lower robes skirt. But he's got 2 heads. That's the big exciting thing about this set, which was not in the Black Series set. He's got both Sebastian and Hayden. So you can do whatever you like. And when Hayden was added to Sebastian's body in 2004, they modified the shape of his neckline. So this release actually allows you to honor either version, which they did not need to do, but I'm very glad that they did with a swappable collar piece.
Yeah, because the head comes with the collar, right?
Yeah, I think
Is it joined?
No, it's still like the neck comes with the collar, but like it'll be a barbell.
You still be able to take it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to have Sebastian with a V-neck, if you always wondered what that would look like, now's your chance. Important stuff.
That was a smart move by Hasbro to do that, man.
Yeah.
It was.
Put the changeable heads in.
Yep. Staying the chart says justice for Sebastian Shaw. Because they haven't done a Sebastian Shaw head since 99 in the like the flashback photo line.
Oh, wow.
I'm about to start a civil war and see what people say.
In the comments, Hayden or
Did I spell Sebastian right? I hope I did.
I don't have YouTube up, but so yeah, you get either option, and pretty fun set.
I love when they do this like translucent plastic stuff.
Yes, I love
really
that kind
cool.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have added a poll option for both. Apparently.
Does the racetrack does that look like a foil to you?
Maybe
Because sometimes when they do the exclusives, they are foil, aren't they? Like
you can kind of see it on the different sides. So yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah.
Good
I
point.
think the Dr. Afra one that was a
foil.
that was foil, wasn't it?
I don't have any of mine.
The Luke was.
Okay.
Can't remember.
With the 501st also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So we got some shine coming to us, some ghostly shine. Oh yeah. So Tim, we both covered the Finish the 96 separately. How does this Anakin tick off that box for you? Do you still want him on a card?
So I think with these 3 packs, if you look at the history of it, usually you either get the character, like the Luke Skywalker 3-pack, for example. I think we already had the X-Wing pilot, if I'm correct, but we didn't have the Jedi version on a card, and then if you look at the ARC Troopers, they all get cards.
Sure.
So, whichever way around they do it, I think a lot of the time these end up being on cards. I'm not sure if all 3 will, but I think if you're going to pick any out of that it would probably be the one that you're looking at right there with Sebastian Shaw head. And yeah, it'd be great to have it on that card. Obviously, that was a last 17, so it had the coin, which obviously they've only done with Jackface before, but they have done other last 17 figures without the coin, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think that it'd be good if they could do that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the original, he was a little bit ghostly. He had like a blue sheen on him.
Yeah.
And then like in 99, they did one where it was just basically him in the flesh, old man, Sebastian Anakin. But so yeah,
the one from the Power of the Force is, with the coin. Isn't that like like a bit of a drawing, isn't it? Is it like it's like artwork?
Yeah, like painting, airbrushed.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Ponda Barber, isn't it? Walrus.
Yeah.
Man.
So I don't know. Would you want to see them? Because when they did these cards for the Black Series, they used Hayden, but it was like images from the film, like cleaned up images from the film, which might be what they do. Because like sometimes they honor the original, and sometimes they do an all new version.
I personally would like the original '96 version, but if Chris from Bantha Skull's watching this, he'd be like, "Oh no, update it." Mind you, with this one, he might be a bit more mellow.
I could also see them doing the Anakin like on an Ahsoka card for that
Yes.
ghost version.
Well,
Listen,
yes.
if
Oh,
Boba
yeah.
Fett's gonna be airbrushed and look terrible, then so is Anakin. Gosh darn it.
I will say, I didn't do a deep dive on this, but Anakin is wearing he's wearing like Obi-Wan style robes in Return of the Jedi, but in Ahsoka he's wearing his Revenge of the Sith darker robes.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
So they could just take his existing Ahsoka Revenge of the Sith figure from that 3-pack and put him out in these kind of same style with the ghostly stuff, which I would love that as well. Yeah, sorry. Anything else on this set? Shall we move on?
How many of these are you going to get, John?
Oh,
I want to display one with Anakin, but I also want the Sebastian Shaw one.
Interesting that you call Hayden Anakin, but Sebastian is Sebastian. Interesting.
Well, you know who Anakin is.
Yes,
Got
yes.
him. Got him.
But
Speaking of that, I want to end this poll, but I'm a little surprised at the results. We got 60% for Sebastian and 40% for Hayden. Interesting. There's no wrong answer. I just think it's interesting.
I said
Seeing
before,
as how Hayden played Anakin for much more of the media, but
Yes. Sebastian
want
was
screen
first,
time.
and
But Sebastian was first, and so we got to honor him too. I get it.
when I got to see it at the Return of the Jedi at the Hollywood Bowl a couple years ago, I think for the 40th anniversary, and I said on the show before, but when Anakin shows up at the end and it's Hayden, that was a huge applause break, which I thought was fascinating because, like, a lot of the older fans might say, no, get him out of here, Sebastian for life. But it's interesting seeing those things as they evolve over time because now he's been Hayden in the movie for longer than he was Sebastian. Anyway,
I guess it comes down to like when you feel he was like in that state, like
yeah.
when was he redeemed and all that kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
And then
someone mentioned that they believe Sebastian's neck is too long, and I just wanted to comment real quick. Some people are saying the same about Marin. I know, somewhat unrelated. I guess Marin is packed in with like a barbell peg that's too long, and people are saying that if you use the Armorers or Bo-Katan's, it'll sit lower on her neck like it's supposed to. Just a heads up to everybody, if you pop that off and you can pull the barbell out. You can use one from a different figure and make her not look like a giraffe, apparently. So anyway,
She looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
But back to your question, Toys of the Way. I only got 2, or did I get? No, I'm like, I pre-ordered this stuff, then I forget about it. I haven't pre-ordered this yet. It's not available yet. I'll be getting just 2, one to keep carded, one to open, and then I'll, after 20 years of having it displayed with Sebastian, I'll switch it to Hayden. How about that?
Okay.
But
This is why people order 3 of these, right?
It might take you 20 years to even open this, John.
yes,
Let's
that's
be real.
true. And then do I play Yubnub or do I play the Victory Celebration? Options. But all right, shall we move on to the next one?
Daniel's asking, because I can't remember either. When is this up for pre-order? Does anybody remember?
After New York Comic Con and MCM Comic Con, and that is in October.
Okay, so it's going to be a while.
October.
All right.
NYCC is October 9th through 12th, 2025. And then MCM London is October 24th through 26th, or 24th through 26th October, if you're in London, excuse me. So yeah, probably after those, or after one of them. So looking like October. So
Very good.
Alrighty.
Before we move on, real quick,
Yes.
we got 154 people watching.
Yes.
And we've only got 7 thumbs. I want my thumbs. I want them. So give me my thumbs up. No, I'm just kidding. If you guys don't mind, we'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. Always very much appreciated. And on with the show. All right, had to get that out. Sorry.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And people are continuing to debate Anakin and how he became a Force ghost. I don't know. I'm sure it's mentioned in the book somewhere. I don't know. But for now, we got to debate the length of Han Solo's sleeves, more importantly. So, VC372 Han Solo pipeline over a year ago when the Cantina was announced. So, yes, Steve, you can pipeline items with a HasLab. Finally, an all-new Han Solo to go with the Luke, Leia, and Ben we've gotten recently. Comes on his original Kenner card, which was done in 2004 in the Vintage Original Trilogy Collection pre-TVC. Finally joining TVC proper for the first time. Finally has a VC number. We're not doing a full deep dive on the sleeves, but I did check. They do kind of look like they move around in the movie.
Sorry, did you say deep fried?
that creep is going to end up deep fried. But I think maybe this Han was enjoying too many deep fried foods. Maybe
That's what I was referring to.
yes. So I'll just say, in terms of the
bloated.
sleeves, before we get to that, they kind of move up and down in the movie. The last few figures of Han we've gotten had them more rolled up. It's almost like a Pee Wee Herman thing where the shirt doesn't quite fit, so when he moves his arms, the shirt gets smaller. But I think it's fine for what it is. And then the torso seems a little thick, maybe, but hopefully that's just how the vest is sitting on him. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on this guy?
I'm pretty happy with it, with the exception of the diabetes wrists.
Yeah,
I'm not
same.
sure what happened there.
I didn't even notice those until you told me, Tyler.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Well, I didn't notice until Evan pointed it out to me, and then I couldn't unsee it, and I was like,
Yeah, I can't
"Oh,
not see it
God,
now.
what's
Yeah.
happening?"
He compared him to the cankles from that Shadows of the Empire Leia from the comic pack about 15 years
They're
ago.
like exactly like that.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because poor Han before had, the little Lego C hand. They fixed that,
Yeah.
and now he's got these cankle wrists.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, man. He's got
People
cankle
are
grip.
being brutal in the comments.
I do
But-
feel like this figure's had a lot of bad press. Well, like criticism from the community, but I don't know. I
think it's pretty
never-
good.
I think it
you
looks
can't really
good.
judge until you get it in hand anyway.
Yeah.
I said that
No.
too.
And I think
You know what I'm curious about is if they put this figure out with without the vest, and I guess with a modified torso, because his tunic is a little bit different in Return of the Jedi, and then paint his legs brown, and you'll get the Sarlacc pit looking Han.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds. So yeah, people
New
are bringing
version of
up.
that.
Dean Backhouse is asking, "Hi Dean, how you doing? Is the belt removable to make it easy to put a stormtrooper belt on?" It looks like it's
Looks like it, yeah.
it's sculpted
Yeah.
separately. I don't know if we can take it off, but I'm sure Hasbro built that in for a future version. I want the alt card with the stormtrooper belt on there.
It looks very similar to Kanan, which you can remove that.
Yes, okay. And then Daniel Chart was asking, "Is it the same body as the bunker version?" No, it's 100% new tool.
Yeah, this is the thing. A lot of people are saying it's just the repainted Return of the Jedi version. It's completely different
No.
torso. That's got the split on the torso.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
so
whole,
that-
the whole
yeah.
figure is different.
Thankfully they
I
got
mean,
rid
it's
of
not-
that.
Yeah.
I don't think it has any shared parts. Maybe the belt.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Not
'cause
even. Really.
It's all 100% new, 100% new.
Yep.
They did have the indoor one in the booth with Chewie for some reason, as part of their Tatooine display, so that kind of confused people for the first few days. I wish they had just waited till this guy was revealed and put him in there, but whatever. So now they can do other Empire Strikes Back Han figures. They can do other Solo Han figures. They can do Force Awakens Han. They can do. I still want them to do an Episode 9 Finn. I know that it might not be your guys' favorite thing to hear, but they can use his pants for that. And there's a lot they can do with this sculpt now. And I want the Yavin Han, where he buttons his shirt up and his sleeves are rolled all the way down, so we can get rid of the cankles, I guess. But
I still think the head. I mean, obviously, again, it's wait until you get it in hand, but he still does have a bit of Corey Feldman about him, like the Return of the Jedi one did.
interesting. Yeah,
I will agree with a lot of comments saying that his face still kind of looks like Return of the Jedi-ish.
He's got like a smirk going on, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one side.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just not sure if it's a dead ringer for A New Hope specifically.
It also looks like it's a different sculpt because a lot of the times they'll just take the Black Series digital sculpt and shrink it down. It looks like a different head sculpt to me.
Does yeah.
Some of the details are kind of similar in the shirt and stuff, but it looks.
That angle looks really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
he's always interesting from different angles.
Yeah.
Matthew says the Target exclusive Stormtrooper Han remains my favorite. A New Hope Han head.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
So we have a few options. I don't think it's so bad. I think it'll look good in person.
It'd be interesting to see if that head works on this figure,
Yes.
vice versa. Or if you could pop this head on the VC 231 Stormtrooper figure. Jesus.
So yes.
Talking
Any
about
other
Cankle
thoughts?
wrists.
We got Kinkle Brain today. Any other thoughts on this guy?
I think overall he looks really good.
Yeah.
Is it absolutely perfect? Maybe not.
But I'll just say, finally, an iconic main character from A New Hope doesn't need to use parts from 2004 anymore. They would never do that again, right? Well, thankfully, let's move on. Let's take a peek at the next release, who is surely... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Lord. So the torso, arms, and bowcaster on this Chewie are now old enough to drink at the cantina, so that's pretty cool, right? He finally has new legs. Let's go to the card back first because we're on the card back. It has a new card back since the original one was released in 2018 as VC-141, but that has the Hildebrandt logo covering up the warning label, so I thought this could have been a chance to
Not on the UK version, it doesn't.
UK wins again. All right, well then I can see why you're happy with this one. But it's a similar image of him shooting in front of the Falcon, but it's a much wider shot than the original one, which is it's pretty cool.
Great image.
John, can you highlight Grant's comment?
We're eating good in 2004. Andrew Cook says great card back.
We're
Okay.
in 2004 vintage.
This is another one that obviously I want to see in hand because, like,
Yeah,
I don't know, the legs. I don't know.
you're not.
It looks a bit
happy with-
weird to me.
I think
It's
the
the
old
hip
one.
joints. The hip joints are just kind of.
I almost
strange.
just felt that the fur just looks like too straight, like smooth or something. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
what it is.
Well, they're combining two different like sculpts here, and like whoever
Yeah.
sculpted the legs obviously did it differently than whoever did that torso back in 2000 whatever.
That's it. Yeah, it looks. I'm sure it's fine, as you say, if it had a new torso, but because the upper torso is like really sort of, the sculpting's got a lot of sort of going on with the fur there, hasn't it? And then the legs just look quite sort of straight.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Tim. They don't blend together too well.
Yes. So, yeah, as mentioned, and people are wondering in the chat, he has new legs with ball-jointed hips and rocker ankles, which also means his lower torso is new to accommodate that. And a new portrait, a new head. We've gotten his A New Hope look with a screaming mouth like this previously in TVC, which is, I think, based on a 2014-2015 3.75-inch Black Series sculpt. But Emily pointed out this one has some newly sculpted teeth. It doesn't look too wildly different to me, but it looks pretty good. I don't know.
They got those new teeth.
They got the new teeth, thank God. I was wondering about those, but it does look good. I don't know,
Yeah, the head looks good.
and I'm
I think it looks
excited.
better for sure.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think
overall as a figure.
my biggest gripe with the old figure was the legs and the lack of articulation there.
I'm still not in
yes.
love with those hands.
Like Dean says, we can swap heads from previous versions.
After all this time, all
Yeah.
these repacks, all these retools, they just can't seem to bring themselves to just make a whole new Chewie.
Yeah,
Just
and
won't do it.
when it comes to main characters, that should just be the rule that they should. Like,
And this wouldn't have been a bad investment. You can use this Wookiee parts for like other things too.
Yeah, and now that we have half a new Chewie, maybe they'll do the other half in 20 years. I don't know, but
True, they get the Scout Trooper treatment.
yes, but I think it looks pretty good overall. Obviously, I would have preferred all new, but working with what we got here. The hands are always interesting because they only look good when he's holding the bowcaster.
Yeah.
On my beloved holiday special one, they sculpted new hands so we could hold the orb. But I gotta let someone into my apartment real quick. Hopefully someone's not robbing me. It's probably a Hasbro Pulse delivery, honestly. Okay, so like people say it looks better in the poses. Maybe not that pose. It looks like he's about to fall over. Anyway, any other thoughts on this guy? Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, it's Chewy.
Yeah. And we're these Han and Chewie wrap up Return to Tatooine. We're going to return to Tatooine in a little bit when we talk about HasLab support. But so don't you worry about that. But for now, VC-374, the Imperial Shock Trooper. This is the first time of this guy on the new clone body, which I love. The first update since VC-110 which was on the old body, came out in 2012. Not counting a couple of 5 POA and 6-inch versions, of course. And he's on a Clone Wars card called an Imperial, even though the Empire didn't exist yet during the Clone Wars. So it's kind of a head scratcher.
Oops.
Oopsie.
I
Yeah.
have a lot to say about this.
Well, and I'll say real quick. So these guys first appeared in Revenge of the Sith, and I'm sure that's part of the rant that we have incoming in a moment. They have since turned up in the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch, and even the Mandalorian in a flashback where they turned up in a Republic gunship, if you can believe that. So yes,
Yeah.
Tyler, how many did you pre-order of this guy?
30.
30. Only 30?
I know, dude. I'm trying, all right? Gosh,
Come on, Tyler.
rookie
30.
numbers. Come on.
He would
What
have got
kind
more
of
if it
army
was on
builder
a
are you,
different
Tyler?
card.
Jeez. Can you zoom in on a picture that has like the side of the like the jawline, so to speak?
This guy?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why you didn't go 32 and get like the round number of cases.
Yeah.
Good question. All right, so something interesting to note here. First of all, I just want to say I think the figure overall looks fantastic. I'm very happy that they've put out the clone shock trooper because that was definitely one that we wanted and needed. They've opted to go for. Someone pointed this out to me. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Pokey Ketchup, I want to say. But he alerted me to the fact that, can you go back up to the vents for a second? So the vents on the side there of the helmet, on the jawline, so to speak, are apparently the animated number of lines. And then,
figure ruined.
and then I mean, some people really, these details matter to them. And then on the 501st one here, you can see that, I don't know, I'm trying to get that not blurry. You can see that he has like all 9 or whatever. And so it's just kind of like the inconsistency of details. Is it a deal breaker for me? No. For clone fanatics who are like nitty gritty into the details, they're like, oh my God, flip table, it's wrong. Right.
Such as last Clone Customs.
So I just want to,
hideous.
I just, like I said, for me personally, it's not a deal breaker, but I do think it's important to say that we have made it clear to Hasbro that we want realistic clones. So even if you're going to put it on an atrocious, nonsensical animated card back, we still want the paint job to be realistic, not animated. And as for the card back, okay, I got some stuff I got to say about this. I got to get this off my chest. All right. We've been moaning for half this year about how they've completely ignored Revenge of the Sith. This is now the third figure that they could have sourced to Revenge of the Sith, and they intentionally chose not to. We've got the Anakin, we've got the 501st that they sourced to Kenobi, and now we've got this shock trooper that they've called the Imperial shock trooper. In my mind, the Imperial shock trooper is the stormtrooper from Battlefront 2 with the shock trooper paint job. So we've had 3 chances now to honor Revenge of the Sith in some small way, and they intentionally decided not to do that. And it's so strange to me. I don't understand the logic.
They just wanted to hear you sigh, Tyler. Give us a good
Dude,
sigh.
the deepest sigh of sigh. That's like the Mariana Trench of sighs. I don't understand the logic here. Why? All that to say, it is a great figure. I can't wait for a whole platoon of them. The figure itself looks fantastic. I'm just baffled at the card back choices. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Let me see if I can do something.
Anyway,
real quick.
I've said my piece on that. At least we're getting the figure. The figure looks fantastic.
There's the scene in The Simpsons where the comic book guy, you only got 30 of these, when he says, "Worst cosmic wars ever. I will only see it 3 more times." And so, we bought 30 of them. Are you going to add the other 9 vents on here? I understand where you're coming from. However,
It's just
pretty
about
awesome.
But yes, overall it looks good.
What if
I
it
like that
shows
they
up with
packed
the 9
2 different
vent?
blasters. Yeah, well, if they fix it, then that's one thing. But it's got a nice deep crimson red to it too. When you compare it to the old one, the dreadful skinnies,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Red is much better here.
The red is much better. I mean, look at the difference in that red. That is really good looking. Now, I will say the shock troopers were Imperial in, like you said, John, the Bad Batch, and also the Mandalorian when they're fighting
No,
against
not in
Keller and Beck. Did you say?
not in not in Mandalorian yet, because that's during Order 66. The Empire was established, a little bit after Order 66. So they are Imperial by the end of Revenge of the Sith. No, that's what happened at Order
Okay,
66.
all
they're the
right,
Empire.
yeah. Split
But-
hairs. All right, all right, all right.
But either way, it wasn't in the Clone Wars. I don't know. There's
Fair enough, fair enough.
the great scene at the end where they're fighting Maul on his ship and stuff.
Yes.
As part of it, which continues the Siege of Mandalore, theme. That
It
we've
all
been talking
kind of
about.
happens simultaneously, right? So
Got to go and watch back that episode now and see if the gunship's got the Imperial cogs on it when
Oh, yeah.
in the flashback.
no
Yeah.
way. I'm pretty sure it's like they just had their chips activated, so they're still like full Republic
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes. However,
They
it
wouldn't
is.
have had time.
I did rewatch at least the Keller and Beck flashback. It's piloted by at least one of the shock troopers in that episode, and some of
Yeah.
them come off the ship with some white shinies Phase 2 clone troopers, and it looks awesome. I know people were a little upset when the 501st had some shiny shoulders, but they do kind of look like that in the live action now. Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, and all that.
These guys look like they're gonna have shiny shoulders as well, but the red paint also looks like it's gonna be a little bit shiny, so maybe
Yeah.
it'll match.
Like I said, if you check out the new, the live action stuff, it makes sense. He
Dude,
makes a
it makes me
speech.
want, Fox and Thorn so badly.
Yeah, they need to redo those figures. Now we
Oh
have the better mold.
man, this shock trooper looks so good, dude. It looks amazing. But yeah, anybody want to buy my skinnies? Because trying to get rid of these disgusting abominations.
I only got
But
a
I'm
few
sure
of
they'll
those.
be great for your collection.
Because those ones were kind of hard to get back in the day, right? I have like 4 or something.
I only have 2.
Yeah, they were. It was near the end of the line, and I know that they also came out on that alternate card look. But Kinko Wrists and Shiny Shoulders is a good podcast episode name. Thanks, Grant.
When yeah, we're gonna have to make that a podcast episode. Oh,
I do hope
gosh.
the blaster rifles are a little bit more rigid, kind of like that
Mhm.
Phase 1 501st Trooper that we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I opened the Imperial Armored Commando, they were firm, which was nice.
Thought I'd
But-
share this custom Commander bow as well from the Purge comics.
Oh,
Nice.
cool, man.
I think my buddy Admiral Yogurt on Instagram made this for me, or sold it to me at least.
Hmm.
But there's a lot. There's a lot that Hasbro can do with these clone sculpts, man. We've only just scratched the surface of what
Yes.
they can do. And for those tired of clones, well, I got news for you, buddy.
Just
We
going
gotta
back to
be
the
getting
Revenge of
for
the
a long
Sith,
time.
Sith card thing that you mentioned there, Tyler. Let's just have a scenario where they did do that. You'd still get everyone saying you're trolling us, just giving us repaints and repacks
Yeah.
of Revenge of the Sith. Where's my brand
Yeah,
new, Obi-Wan and whatever else, wouldn't you?
I get it. Making a different card back to spice it up and make it different than the skinny card back. The card back on this figure of the shot of Mustafar in the background is really good. It's actually one of my favorite card backs. Really, really good card back. So I understand making it different. I don't understand why we opted for Imperial Shock Trooper.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
No.
weird to me.
Also,
The
it's like a
Imperial
good
Shock
time
Trooper
to
that I
like.
want is the Stormtrooper version. Sorry
Yeah.
about my dog. He's going crazy. His mom just got home. So
It's also like they had this brand new, really wonderful clone sculpt, Revenge of the Sith. Why not celebrate that clone and put it back out on some Revenge of the Sith stuff? It's just an easy like layup. I don't know why they would opt to do this.
Well, if you want more
Yeah,
Revenge of the Sith stuff, you have a pretty good opportunity to get an item from Revenge of the Sith right now. As Padme says, "Look, It's the HasLab LAAT Republic Gunship. So
here we go.
Here we go. It's we've only been here 45 minutes, and now we're starting for finally. But the HasLab LAAT gunship, as they call it, the 5th vintage collection HasLab, and the first from the prequels. So for everybody saying there was no Revenge of the Sith stuff this year, this is an Attack of the Clones branded item, but it does appear in Revenge of the Sith. So everyone, we backed the barge, we raised the Razor Crest, we got the Ghost, we captured the Cantina. Can we get the gunship too? Can we go 5 for 5 on TVC HasLabs? We have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, September 9th, right? To reach the minimum backer goal of 8,000. Maybe it's September 8th. I don't know. Clearly going great over here. It was a different date. September 8th. Excuse me. September 8th. Oh my God. Everybody's going to wait till September 9th, but do it on September 8th instead. Okay. So let me get back to my notes here real quick. At that time, because some people, it's their first HasLab every time, so we got to go over this every time. We can do it in our sleep at this point. But if it reaches 8,000 at the end of the campaign on September 8th, if it has hit 8,000, backers are charged at that time, a few minutes after, and then it goes into production. Everyone is charged at that point, regardless of when you back it. If you backed it last week, if you back it today, if you back it next week, doesn't matter. All the backers are charged at the end of it, and regardless of when it hits 8,000 backers. If it doesn't hit 8,000 at that point, we'll be sad. We'll be big sad, as Tyler would say. Backers are not charged. You lose absolutely nothing by backing it early. You lose absolutely nothing if it doesn't back. So,
yes. And also, I just want to say, if you intend to back this, there's no point in waiting because of the fact that you don't get charged until the end anyway, as John just said. And also, the sooner that we can get this thing backed, the more people will jump on board, because there's like this psychological thing where it's like, oh, now this is definitely happening. Okay, cool. I'm going to jump on board too. There's some thing where like people don't want to back this unless it's already funded or unless all the tiers are unlocked, and they don't like seem to understand that the way to do that is by booking the project. Like we're so many HasLabs into like HasLab has existed for 7 years now, and people still don't understand that. I don't really get it. There's like a disconnect there, a mental deficiency, if you will. But just hit the back button now.
There was someone in a Facebook group, and they were actually really positive about the gunship. But then they did say, but I'm going to wait because, I want to see if it unlocks the tiers. And I just thought, well, I replied, I said, look, this is the problem. Like if every person had that attitude, then nothing would ever get back.
Right.
Yeah. Because you have to, these things are about momentum. You've got to, get on board, and then, the positivity of it can carry it through, and then everyone wins at the end, It's just a weird, when you don't have to pay, there's no commitment, like cancel it at the end if it doesn't have to perceive value for you because you don't get the full 3 tiers, then cancel, and hopefully we'll still be over 8,000 or whatever for however many people wanted to do that. But give this thing a chance by like backing it and getting those numbers up. But I don't know, as you say, Tyler, some people just don't seem to sort of get that. I don't know.
Every time.
And there always is a giant surge at the end of every HasLab campaign. There's a number of trackers out there. John Miko has one. Geek Dad Life has one. The website wasn't working today. Rives Junction out on Instagram tracks things here and there. But you always, no matter what, you always see a spike at the beginning, and then it's kind of flat in the middle, and then a spike at the end. So it didn't. I think the Cantina didn't fund until the last couple days, actually. The Snowcat only just funded, which is the G.I. Joe HasLab that's ending within the week in a couple days. That only just hit 8,000. And so I don't know. It's gonna get a lot at the end, and hopefully it's not just a couple hundred people saying, "Dang, I would have got it if it backed." Well, be the change you want to see in the world, people, and get the gunship.
Can I interject here real quick?
And
sorry, Tyler, you go ahead.
I was just going to say to Rezi Kai's comment down there. I don't want to say exactly what he said, but Hasbro actually said the opposite of that.
Of the figures, look into the figures. in a little bit, in a minute.
Well,
Is that what you're talking about?
just while it's top of mind right now, I just want to say that Phil the Force was interviewing Chris Rife and Emily, and asked them flat out, is this going to be exclusive to the HasLab, or will these Jedi be, released later? And they said they're exclusive for now with no plans to release them. So I just want to say, anybody just assuming that these figures are just going to come out anyway, whether they back or not, and they'll just be on different cards and everything will be fine. Well, maybe not. Don't count on it. I wouldn't count on it. Maybe, but is that really a gamble you want to take? It's not a gamble I want to take.
I mean, and Steve clarified, Mr. Stevie18 on Instagram has been doing a lot of heavy lifting for this campaign on his Instagram. He says, no current plans for regular release of HasLab tier figures. If we do in the future, HasLab card backs will be exclusive. So it's similar to the Cantina characters. People are still waiting for Arlyle Shoes. It made Greedo more likely, and that's, we just got him in the, we're getting him in the Wacky Colors Cantina 4-pack, but that's because the tooling was funded in the HasLab.
Correct.
I agree with go ahead, Tim,
I was just about to say, with the Ghost, they said, you'll never get the Ghost crew in this, in these outfits, because obviously their outfits change from season to season. So you're not going to get these exact outfits, but they might use the tooling to like modify them slightly for a different season or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you look at those 3 Jedi, I mean, there's a lot of parts that can be used for other Jedi. It doesn't mean you're going to get those 3. There'll be plenty of others that they can make.
Yes.
Using those parts. But as I say, it doesn't mean, could I really see Coleman outside of the HasLab? I'm not sure, man.
He's the most rare.
With Todd Motion that Coleman is definitely not a sure thing. I would agree in terms of if any of these might be put out anyway, so to speak, then it would probably be the other 2 Jedi Masters. Because, and I say that because when you look at the Black Series, right, they got Chancellor Palpatine from the Jedi arrest scene. It's possible.
Both of those in there, aren't they?
Everybody knows that that's a pretty highly desired figure in the vintage collection. So if they're going to put out that figure in TVC, then they may eventually also put out the Jedi Masters to duel with him. But Coleman, I think if we don't unlock Coleman, we're screwed. We're never going to see that figure. So just something to consider.
And he was kind of a rare figure before.
Yeah,
it wasn't an easy one to find.
Yeah, he was in that. Was he in one of those 2-packs? Wasn't he?
Yep.
Order 66 2-packs or whatever.
They had
not Order 66. Attack of the Clones 2-packs.
Yeah, the Geonosis arena.
Yeah.
The Target had 12 different 2-packs over a couple of years.
Yeah.
But should we talk more about the figure? Should we go over the gunship in general first?
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I noticed actually the clone rifles here have the silver paint applications.
Nice.
They do. However, they're the wrong sculpt.
Oh no!
Now that I'm looking
at it. I'm the details guy when it comes to clone mustaches. His details guy about all the weird pod racers and whatever the heck. So I'm going to be that guy when it comes to clones. All right. So this is the correct sculpt. Now you'll ask yourself, what the heck is the difference? The little it's different. Okay,
it's beefier. The other ones are way too skinny.
It's
it's not that it's not correct. It's just that it's more sturdy.
It is
the details
correct. If you look at the rifles, they are not the same. That is based on Camino and Customs on Instagram, who is like hyper fixated on clone details down to the most minute detail. Has said many times that I guess this is based on like a prop that was incorrect and didn't make it into like the final cut of one of the movies. I'd have to bring up his comment again, but he brings up all the time that rifles that look like this are not correct. The ones that look like this with this figure are correct. So the beefier version is correct. That skinnier version is not correct.
Good
But
thing these aren't in
hopefully, but
production yet.
I think people said that the clone that they saw actual SDCC though is correct.
Okay.
So maybe someone, if anybody was there, maybe they could tell me.
All that for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, Matthew
I mean,
says,
we'll see. But
Tyler, when have you ever seen one of the pilots with a rifle, full stop?
Yeah.
That too.
it still matters, though. It still matters. It still matters.
Oh my God! It just had 500 cancellations because of this rant. So let's keep it positive a little bit here.
I'm just saying.
Minute details of the rifle that we already have. Okay, let's talk about the offering. What is included? We can talk about the tiers in a bit. So if you back it now, and if it hits 8,000, it'll have all of this. It'll have a big, beautiful LAAT Republic gunship with opening doors. We have other features we'll get into. It has the 2 bubble turrets. It is fully in scale, the bubble turrets are in scale with the gunship for the first time. You get these beautiful alternate panels. You get the Crumb Bomber, you get Service with a Smile. You get these front doors, which they have in the Clone Wars, these other doors. All these rockets. The cups or so last year. Now we have a bunch of rockets we can talk about. And then it has 2 included stands.
2 stands.
The only other time we got stands was with the N1 and the Razor Crest, correct? And the Razor Crest had to do it as a tier, so that was an.
I love that they've included a stand, and not only a stand, but 2 different types of display options. That is just really fantastic. I love.
Can we
that.
also just talk about how that was a tier before for a HasLab, a stand? They're giving it to us now. So
yes, in the base offering, yes.
Yeah.
And the Ghost never got one. That was something that really irked me. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna let bygones be Qui-Gons, right?
Yes,
so
yes. And people are asking. So it includes the 2 pilot figures, one on a card and one loose, which is sort of similar to what Disney Parks did with the Starspeeder, where it has a carded and a loose Rex. However, we need 2 for the gunship, of course. And you only need 2 to pilot the gunship because people keep asking. But the ones in the bubbles are just regular standard clone troopers, regular phase 1s. Which
are you
exist
able to zoom in on the helmets on these guys?
Yeah.
First of all, I love this card back. I think that's the perfect card back. They nailed it.
Yeah.
But the figures themselves, this is by far the best phase 1 pilots we've ever gotten. The previous quote unquote best phase 1s were probably these Black Series 3.75-inch ones.
Yeah.
But they had a sort of disgusting T-visor that was like too fat, much like Han's wrists. I don't know. These were okay, but the ones with the gunship, I mean, they're just so much better.
They're in the new mold.
Look at that
appreciate
helmet,
that.
man. I mean, that
great.
is outstanding. I feel like there's not enough emphasis on the figures that come with this gunship, because all of the figures are really outstanding. Really, really outstanding.
Yes. Well, so yeah, currently it's just these 2, but somebody mentioned Pokey says my theory about the rifle thing. The correct scope they use now was made all the way back with VC45. I think they just don't have a digital file of the correct one for the render photos. Maybe.
I'll
leave it to the clone nuts in the community to work that one out.
Emily was I was speaking to Emily about this phase 1 clone, and she was nerding out over the little greeblies on the chest box there. The I don't know what the heck you call that thing. Attached to the tubes, little box there. She was really proud of all the little details on that, and I'm proud of it too. So let's get this thing back so we can get those in hand.
It's not a great image, a little low quality, but you can see all the detail on there.
Really good looking. I mean, that's the definitive phase 1 clone pilot. Look at that, man. Like I said, I think people are really underappreciating the detail in these figures. So good. So good.
As Owen P. Steve says, if all nearly 200 of us watching the stream right now back the gunship right now, well, it wouldn't back right now, but it would be closer, so get the gunship. All right. So here's an image flying on the flight stand. Here's an image with it on the lower flight stand. You can see the difference. This is kind of the altitude that they're at when they kind of load Jedi and clones on and off of it. which is awesome.
I
we
love
can,
that you can do both. And
Yeah,
I
me too.
love that if you bought two, you could have one that's like
Yep.
taking off or landing and the other one that's already, on the ground. It's
Yep.
oh man, I mean the display options with these are so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
And you can also like swap the gunship around to where it's like nose down or nose up in the flight mode,
Oh
right?
wow. I'm not. I think so.
I might
don't
be
know.
lying, but I thought Steve said that. I could
Hmm.
be mistaken.
Yeah, I feel like I've only seen it like that.
Yeah, maybe I'm lying.
You can give it a whirl, but you can see here how the old Republic Gunship, which was made in 2002, they had some little tiny turrets that were included with the original pilot figure in 2002 that launched rockets, and then in 2009 they updated it to have ones that figures could actually fit inside, and you had to buy a battle pack that had 2 pilots and 1 turret. You had to buy that twice, and I upgraded a lot of my gunships that way. But they were out of proportion. They were a little bit heavy. They were sagging. These are actually made for
And
this gunship.
most importantly, when they originally released those in one of those Geonosis packs, they put one ball turret per pack, and there weren't enough bubble turrets to go around. There were more gunships than there were bubble turrets. And so they've gotten extremely expensive on the aftermarket. And so for all the people saying we'll get to the price, but for all these people saying this gunship is too expensive, when you look at previous gunships on eBay, plus the cost to outfit it with the bubble turrets,
Mm-hmm.
actually you're getting quite a deal here. And you're getting a better, bigger gunship with the works as far as detail and swappable panels. And
2 flight stands.
I can't believe people don't see the deal they're getting here. Like, it's kind of shocking to me, but anyway, we'll get to that.
But Eric says, you had to say that, Tyler. Are you trying to tempt me to back a second? Yes, a little bit.
And a third and a fifth.
There was someone back there that asked about whether the wings come off, and they can. So
Yes.
if you want to display it on a shelf, the wings do come off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Stevie showed a mock-up of that, but
Yeah.
similar to the
Steve-
Ghost.
Yep.
But also,
Steve said when you pop one of the wings off, it's 19 inches wide. Just for anyone trying to make sense of that on their shelves, get your tape measure out and 19 inches. So
we have, speaking of, and I'll say, yeah, the base here leaves such a footprint that you can put on top of a DTOLF or whatever, and it doesn't have to take up the entirety of your shelf right there.
yes.
But size-wise, this image has some measurements. I know it's hard to kind of visualize that, but yeah, pull out your tape measures, everybody. But another visualization is, they say 24% bigger, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you see the comparison to the old one, and let me just jump ahead anyway to the comparison to the old one. Yeah, this image that was floating
Look
around.
at that, man. John, can you highlight Rogue Killer's comment real quick?
Man, it pisses over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Sorry for the language
No,
on the
do it.
stream, but it does, man. You
Alright,
can't. You
you're-
can't even
you're good.
compare.
I've-
You cannot
I've
even
got
compare the
worse.
two, man. It's just like
Are you talking about the Rogue Killer, the price issue?
Yes. So I'm gonna dive deeper into that, but I will come back to this comment when we discuss price.
But so I mean, the old one, they kept highlighting how the old one. I like, we got another nice mustache over here, whoever you are, guy. But
John,
it's quite the upgrade from the old one.
Yes.
It's easier to see it's not always easy to see in renders, kind of in a black void, but compared to the actual other items. And then here's Mr. Steve's comparison to the other HasLabs. It's bigger than the Razor Crest. It's it's a little wider than the Ghost. It's at least with the wings.
Can you go back to the previous picture real quick and
Which
just
one?
zoom in on the cockpit comparisons?
Yeah.
at
So
the
some of
top
the
there?
other.
this is the thing. Like, you can't, unless you see it in hand. I don't think you can appreciate the size of it, because
Yeah.
I'm just looking
Yeah.
at my Razor Crest and it's massive. Like,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to
This
really
be a-
point out the cockpit here.
Oops,
For people
sorry.
who are like, "Oh, my old one is good enough." Like, look at the difference here, okay? And you can see the difference between toy quality and like movie, screen accurate replica here that we're getting with this gunship. I mean, this new cockpit, you've got the control screens, you've got the the joysticks, you've got detailed bucket seats.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you can
Can
look
I-
at these and say, the old one's good enough. I mean,
Can I
what's the
also point
difference
out-
between like the 90s X-Wing and like the TVC X-Wing?
That's
Right,
the
so-
TVC
so,
X-wing
like-
uses parts from the 90s. yeah.
Okay, bad example. Bad example. Bad example. All
What were you
right.
gonna say, Toys, by the way?
I will say, zoom back in on that previous image, John.
On this, on
The
which one?
cockpit.
Yeah.
Look at the old one. How you can see the hole there from the screw that holds it together, even.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And then look at the other one, like pan over to the left, like that has a removable panel with all those details inside. So just like taking a look at this gunship compared to the previous one is like a no-brainer in terms of like the detail and stuff that they brought to it.
I loved the other, this one might piss and poop all over it and every other kind of bodily function, but I love the old one for the time. It's a very fun toy. I have very fond memories of it, of course.
Yes.
But I will say but this one just kind of blows it out of the water. And I will say that
It does.
so you are okay to still enjoy the old one if you like it, but I think the new one is a very significant upgrade in every way. And I remember one of the things that always bothered me about the old one was these little coffin cockpits, where it's like you had to jam, especially the figures. You had to jam their elbows in there, like there was no elbow room. The beverage
Yeah,
was going to bang
Not
right on
easy to
top.
put in there.
Yep. And
But
you can
these ones-
scratch them trying to get in there too.
Yeah, and these ones they have
Scratch
a
the
full
paint
full
jobs.
lazy boy seat in there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Now, listen, like you said, John, if people are like, I'm content with the old one, that's good enough for me. You know what? If that's your opinion, fine. But I just want to say for the people who are like, oh, this isn't worthy of a definitive upgrade. Why are they doing a redo? Blah, blah, blah. Look, they've redone Vader's TIE Fighter. They've redone the Millennium Falcon. I mean, there's so many vehicles that they've redone in a definitive style that is up to the standards of TVC quality, which is the highest quality that 3.75-inch Star Wars figures have ever been, and vehicles, right? Like, don't try to pretend that this isn't, worthy of an upgrade or that it's not iconic. Like, this is like the X-Wing of the prequel trilogy, okay? It is iconic. I'm sorry. And it's not just OT stuff that's iconic. For people who grew up with these movies, it's iconic. It is, in fact, a dream project for many people. Yes, it is. Maybe it's not your dream project, but it is a dream project for me. Personally, for me, I think I'm more excited about this HasLab than any of the previous projects. And that's why it hurts me to see this thing struggling, and I hope it'll make it. But to say that this isn't worthy of a redo or a definitive upgrade, but then to turn around and say, oh, but a Sandcrawler is, it's like, well, you're not really being consistent there, guy. You can't say HasLab shouldn't be for redoing things and then turn around and say, oh, but I want them to redo the Sandcrawler. Like, well, now your bias is just showing, right? So let's be consistent about what we're saying here. And to that point, I just want to say that if this does not succeed, it's got implications for other redos, such as the Sandcrawler or such as the Imperial shuttle over here. A lot of people want a new Imperial shuttle. You think they're going to make a new Imperial shuttle if this fails? No. No,
for
they are
cheaper?
not. They will never attempt a redo of anything else if this fails. They're not going to do it. They're going to listen to all those people who said HasLabs should only be for never before done projects, and they will not do a Sandcrawler or any other redo ever again. I can almost guarantee you that. So there's a lot of implications on this, and also, a lot of people are talking about the Death Star for 2027, a big ambitious project. Well, if something at the $450 price point does not succeed, do you think they're going to have the confidence to try something that ambitious at double the price or more? Probably not, right? That dream's probably going to get flushed down the toilet. So I'm not trying to force anybody to back this thing. I just want to say there's a lot of implications if this does not succeed. It's not just about the gunship. It's about other projects as well. So, give that some thought and help us get this thing over the finish line.
John,
Yep.
you're good with history, and
Yes.
my memory's terrible.
Thank you.
When did they announce the whole Return to Tatooine theme?
It was the same.
It wasn't
It was the same time they announced the cantina. They said,
Oh, was it?
yeah, it was the same like moment. It was the same event. It was, they said the cantina's coming. They built the HasLab, and in, I believe, they said in 2025 we're going to be returning to Tatooine. In the same announcement where they announced the cantina, they pipelined Han, Ben, Luke, and Chewie, which is why it's been over a year for some of them to be shown. But
I don't know why, but for some reason my memory, like, because there's so many moving parts with all of these HasLabs. Like, there's, the cantina had its issues, lots of different issues, and the gunship has lots of different issues. Whether it might be, people have got an army of the previous one already, that might be a factor. There's lots of different factors why this isn't doing as well as we would hope, and the cantina wasn't doing as well as we would hope. At periods of the backing, I just couldn't remember whether it was something that they brought in afterwards. They sort of said, when this, when this backs or whatever, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff for Tatooine to go with it. I just, a bit like Patrick's promise with the Razor Crest.
So they did later do a pipeline for Hammerhead from Moma Nadon during the campaign, but that was the only other thing that pipelined.
That was it.
And yes, I have a whole speech prepared on that subject. But real quick, I just want to show RKW 1138 says, looks great, but I chose Snowcat over this. I can't afford both in 1 month. Guess what? It's August, and the Republic Gunship backs in September, so it's not the same month. So argument invalid.
Yeah. As a reminder, once again, you don't get charged until the end of the campaign, no matter when you hit the back button. So if you can back it today, and you won't have to pay for it until September 8th at 11:59, or basically September 9th, right, when it hits midnight. So, or is it no? Is it the 8th when it hits midnight? So the 7th will be the last day.
Nope, 11:59 p.m. on the 8th.
On the 8th. Okay, so you have the full day of the 8th.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So no excuses. Hit that back button.
But yeah, so I guess we can talk. We'll talk about support, Tim. That's a great point, but I wanna get to that in a minute if that's okay, because I want to keep talking about some of the other features of this guy. So we got the bubble tier. Also, another thing that was missing on the old one is the netting up here. I love that they have that. They have a whole thing that all your figures can hold on up here.
Yeah.
And the weathering. Yes. Also, the weathering looks fantastic in the in-hand images. It's kind of hard to see in the renders, obviously. But
can you go back to the picture that shows the inside with the handlebars, just real quick?
Yeah. You can see the clone. Or there's another image.
It's a good picture. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
So I just want to kind of zoom in on this and again point out the difference in detail and scale. One of the things that always irked me about the previous gunships was how the clones were always whacking their heads on the inside of the gunship, right? Finally, now you have one that's like properly scaled to where your figures can stand inside of it without, the top of their heads being, knocked off, and hold on to those nice overhead, bars that are like on subways and trains, right? And you've got that seat in the back too that's also removable. For a possible vehicle that may or may not interact with the gunship. I just want to say Steve has teased that maybe should I say that?
We'll save it. We'll save the support. Let's talk about the gunship itself for a little bit longer. But yes, that is part of it, where the seat is removable and it can accommodate something. Maybe we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about all the support and pipeline.
Spring-loaded doors,
exit ramp too.
And
here's the exit ramp. The previous gunship could not do this, and the rear end is much larger than the previous gunship, which was quite small. Again, for all the people saying, I already have one and the old one's good enough. Well, I mean, can your old one do this? Can your old one do that? Because it can't. Spoiler alert, it can't.
No.
I'm actually looking really forward to this, because the inside of the old one is kind of frustrating sometimes to put these newer figures on, because it still has all those giant pegs and our
Yes.
figures
Oh, wow.
don't really have the peg holes anymore. So like when I try to take like a shot of like putting a bunch of these guys in there, I kind of got to like finagle them a certain way to not interfere with those. And there's also like that big like bar that kind of like sticks up in the middle too.
Yeah.
And also sometimes I've taken a shot where I try to replicate what Hasbro's got going on here with the clear stand, so it looks like it's hovering and the guys are gonna get off the ship. So when I have to try to fake a shot like this, I'm balancing my old one on something like that, and that interior little piece that drops interferes with it sometimes, and I have like a whole balancing act thing that pisses me off sometimes.
Yeah.
So seeing this already makes me excited for setting this up just on a shelf, but also to take some photos of it and share with everyone. So I think some people are going to have a lot of fun if we do have this thing actually make it to our collections, just alone with the interior.
Yes. The old one also had that dropout feature in the middle, which sometimes it was fun, I guess, but sometimes it would just drop out when you didn't want it to.
Yes.
Go, oh God, all my clones are falling all over the place.
Yeah, which is a pain. And then circling back to what Tyler was talking about, the ramp coming down is super cool. That feature alone is really exciting to me. Just potentially,
you know how many cool pictures that people are gonna be able to, assuming this thing backs of clones, storming out the back of that thing. It's gonna be freaking awesome. And these little details, I just want to say again, it really illustrates the difference between the 21-year-old, actually it's like 23-year-old toy and the collector quality piece that we're getting out of this. And Steve even mentioned that they omitted the pegs on the floor on purpose to give it that more accurate look, right? The more movie accurate look. Moving away from this being a toy and really leaning into that movie, screen accurate sort of replica, right? And that's what we want out of TVC. Overwhelmingly, people want the detail, people want the accuracy. That's what you're getting here. And I gotta say, people, I think they'll never do this again. This is your one shot at a definitive gunship. I can't see them ever attempting this again in the future. So
if it fails,
it's now or it's now or never. So
hey, John, can you zoom in right there in that HasLab logo area?
Up here,
yeah, because actually something I just noticed, which I don't think anyone's really spoken of, is so it looks like the mechanism to actually open the door they've designed to still look more movie accurate than the previous one. Because if you're familiar with the other one, it's just kind of a piece of plastic with like that little
like a bar
rounded like kind of swivel or something like that, or that looks like an actual mechanism that's built into the ship and still will function and open your door.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of people miss that they are actually spring loaded. There's a button on top, isn't there? You press and they go, just
look at the grime too on the back of that thing. The weathering and the I mean, you can really see the paint job on this. And by the way, the paint job, that impacts the price, and we'll talk about that more later. But it's a balancing act. It's do you want cheaper and it's going to look cheaper, or do you want the paint that you say you want and then it's going to cost you? I mean, we've got to make up our minds about this stuff.
So some more of the details under here, and then I'm going to talk about the swappable panels for a minute. It's got
movie
brought it up a little bit
quality,
before, but it's got Obi-Wan's Crumb Bomber. I will say, if they wanted to add some more of the actual little bombs that were in Clone Wars on the bottom, that would be nice. But I'm just throwing that out there. And then which was seen a lot throughout the Clone Wars, especially early on. But it's it's Obi-Wan's ship, it's Cody's ship, Waxer and Boyle are on it, and Ryloth. And then you'd also have Service with a Smile, which is only seen very briefly, which is actually, I did not recognize this one at first, I must say. I'm a fake fan. But I rewatched the part of Water War where the beginning of season 4, where they're having the awesome battle on Mon Cala, and Kit Fisto and his scuba troopers are jumping out of the back and off the sides and stuff, and it's so awesome. And it's this ship, his Service with a Smile. And I know they're not going to add anything else to the base or anything, but it would be awesome. Eventually, after this is backed, hopefully they can do another pack of alternate panels. Yeah.
I know the Lucky Leku is with the Twi'lek in clone armor. is
And then
by
next to
far the most requested
definitely.
Yep. And then
paint job. So
Tops TOPPS 0.375 on Instagram did a rundown of all the different ones. There's like the Bad Kitty with the Nexu on the bomb.
Yes.
There's
Clothes
I love that
Bros.
one.
Yep. Plos Bros is a little more different coloring, but
Mm.
yeah, that could be an alternate somehow down the line. There's all kinds of different nose art. The Clone Trooper leg kicking Dooku in the butt. Another
one
one
was funny.
smashing another one smashing a Geonosian.
There's one with the B1
How
and like a
about-
bullseye on him, which I love.
Nice.
I know this was technically on the Bad Batch's ship, but what about if they did Senator Padme?
Padme,
That's
which
that's our girl.
they deleted it from the final
Naboo
episode.
Senator. That is not staying on there. That's a great deleted scene if you've seen it on YouTube. It's so funny.
I do love these panels though. I love they've been incorporating more of this kind of stuff on a lot of the vehicles.
Yeah. And some nice customization, and it's got both sides, and it's got the fully closing doors from Clone Wars. It's got these guys. Another feature on the old one that I thought was always a little. It was fun that they could shoot missiles, but it was annoying you couldn't really move them to be straightforward. Now this one you can move it the full nice range of motion on this.
Oh, I want
They look
this
better,
thing
too.
so bad.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah, and they're more accurate again, movie quality because they're not firing missiles. Here's a look at both stands.
How do you feel about the stand just saying Star Wars as opposed to like The Mandalorian or Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones.
Maybe because it's more general.
Yeah, I kind of prefer it
I
just in
think
general.
I think because it can, because the nose art panels aren't technically accurate to Attack of the Clones. They're from the Clone Wars, right? So that way, if you want to put the Clone Wars panels on it, it doesn't inaccurately say Attack of the Clones on the base.
Exactly.
Right? So
I feel that way.
I think that makes sense. If it was specific to one media, right?
Yeah.
Like the Mandalorian, that I could see why they would only put the Mandalorian on it. But
For sure, more.
I think that was a smart choice.
I agree.
They shouldn't have put the pilot in here because but it cracks open like a little Easter egg, and it should be a lot easier to get these guys in there than the old one.
Yes.
Which is such a,
The old one, only about a third of the bubble can open up at the top, and it was really hard to stick your fat, grubby little fingers in there and manipulate, trying to get the clone to hold on to the joysticks. And oh God, that's like a 2-hour project just to get one figure in there.
So wait, you're telling me this is a better ball turret and we have a better figure to put in there? Wow.
Almost like it's better or something. Wow. Almost like it's a huge upgrade and you should back it. I'm just saying.
wow.
I even appreciate those details on the top of that turret where it had some of the like rivets and like bolts in there. That's cool.
Yeah, they mentioned that. Like if you look at the old gunship compared to this, like they add a lot of the rivets and the screws and stuff.
And you know what? Those rivets are very reminiscent of like World War II bombers, like the
Flying Fortress.
what was it, the Strato Fortress, the B somebody some World War II enthusiast, tell me in the comments, was it the B
Memphis
21? I can't remember which one, but it's very reminiscent of the World War II B-17. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Rezi Kai, appreciate you.
Daniel Falcon
I love that, man.
Put a different nose art on each side. You can put a mirror up so it looks like different gunships.
Ooh.
B-17. I'm ashamed I forgot the nomenclature, but anyway, thank you, gentlemen.
Also
We've got some scholars in here.
Look at that. Unlike the Ghost, paint applications on the bottom.
Yeah, and
Shocking.
again, right? Like people were like, "Oh, my Ghost and my Cantina aren't, sufficiently weathered." So now they're weathering the gunship, and everyone's complaining about the price. Guys, paint costs money.
There's a lot.
How
right
many
there.
times do they have to tell people this?
That's my favorite.
Gecko is expensive. You tell people this 85 million times, and they just do not. They just don't listen. They just don't listen. Like they've said many times that the paint is expensive. So it's a balancing act. What do you want? Do you want the wash and it's going to cost more, or do you want it to look basic AF and not have a wash? And it's got, like
the Ghost.
What do you want?
Yeah, like the Ghost. But it also there's a medical bay up here, which I don't think we have a picture for, and then on the other side of the front, removable panel to show. We were just there a second ago, but some of like the the details in there and stuff, the engine room and all that stuff.
The medical bay is a new addition that was based on the Tartakovsky scene where the Jedi fight Grievous, and then you see Ki-Adi-Mundi tending to Ayla and Shakti, and the Scooby-Doo Jedi dude dies, right?
Yeah,
I think he
Shaggy.
dies. Yeah, Shaggy. Yeah. So that's a cool new feature that the old one doesn't have, right? Also, the rotating rockets on the top. Let's talk about that for a second. You got a good picture of that?
No, I don't. But yeah, that's one of my favorite
Okay.
features because they showed it off. Well, you can kind of see it right here, but they
Kinda
showed it
stuff.
off.
They literally show it in
in
the
the
movie
video.
when the gunship is when it's taking off, right? And it's
Yep.
loading the rockets into the two tubes up top. You know, this is one of those little features that I was hoping that they would incorporate if they did a gunship, the rotating rocket, spools, if you will.
Yeah, that was another thing missing from the original one, which I love that the shot in the movie where it's coming up and the camera zooms in on that.
Yes.
But all right, shall we? Okay, we went over the figures a bit already, but yeah, Coleman Trebor, the Verk guy who, as Toys of the Way, as you said, he tries to tango with Django, it doesn't go well for him. But yeah, then Stacey Teen, who was in all three of the prequels, and Agent Kolar, who was in 2 and 3, which we've gotten these guys before, but these are the first time in TVC quality, first time
Can you
in a very long time for some of them.
really zoom in on their faces, the head sculpts? Because I feel like people aren't really appreciating the detail on these figures. I mean, it's really incredible.
And I'm going to save the Jedi tooling deep dive for whenever Evan's available again.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's
That's
extremely passionate about that, and I've already I've got enough stuff to cover here. But
And the robes too. Look at what is it? Sassy? Is that
yes, Sassy Teen? I don't know. He's a sassy teen.
Sassy, if you, I don't know, however you say it. He's got a darker robe than everybody else, which is accurate to the movie. And I mean, look at how good he looks, guys.
And these are
Look at that.
I've seen people saying, it should have been the Jedi Council. It should have been the Jedi Council. Well, here's 3 Jedi Council members right here for you. So
Dude, look at the wrinkles in his neck and on his forehead and face. I mean, just incredible. The detail.
Yeah, that's a great
is
likeness on that figure.
incredible.
And they each come with lightsabers, lit and unlit, as well as Force hands, which is nice.
You don't have this guy.
I'm
This is a good chance to get him.
That nobody seems to care about these figures. It's
Oh, people care,
totally
people care.
baffled. I mean, some people care, but I feel like nobody's really talking about just how spectacular these figures are.
I really
mean,
like Coleman. He's one of my favorite figures from the Attack of the Clones era.
Yep.
And they definitely made him look a lot better, because I'm looking at this one right now and his neck is kind of skinny and just it's a good figure. It's hard to get, but that one just looks so much better. And something that I was mentioning that I love that they're doing now is the extra hands, because I've asked for that specifically on Jedi figures. Extra hands. I want to see that Force push.
Yeah.
So getting that accessory is cool.
And for me, I think Stacey is my favorite. Am I muted? Can you guys hear me right now?
No, we hear you.
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay. All right.
I need to step back for a second.
The scene in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars where he's in the clone armor with the helmet on, and he's got his horns sticking out of the helmet.
Yeah.
I just think about the reuse capability to remake a definitive version of that figure and how freaking cool that would be. I mean,
Yeah, that'd be great.
that would be so awesome. But that can't happen unless we unlock them. So get back and people get to work.
Yeah, we have a long way to go if we're going to get any of these figures.
Card backs look awesome as well, don't they? For your card.
Yeah, really good card backs. Well, I don't know where Mustache went, but let's engage with the comments for a minute. Let's see. Yeah, people seem to like the idea of these Jedi in the retooled to be using some clone pieces. What are you guys most excited about in this HasLab offering? Let's talk about that. What are you guys excited about? Are you excited on upgrades to the gunship and all the details? Are you more excited about the figures? Are you excited about the swap out panels? What are you guys excited about?
Definitely the gunship
Let's
is a
talk about it.
huge improvement.
It really is.
I think the figures come a little bit later for me. I do really like these figures, especially this one right here. Our previous figure is not as good. He's got that like lightsaber that you kind of stick into the hilt. It always falls off for me, so that's kind of annoying. And just seeing these like brought into like a modern, more definitive version of them is always appreciated. But definitely the gunship. It looks impeccable. Like I don't know how someone can not be impressed by it compared to the older toy version we have.
What are your thoughts, Tim? We haven't heard from you in a while.
So,
You falling asleep over there in the UK?
Yes, it's the most impressive thing about it is the gunship itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's not just any old upgrade; it's a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
Just everything about it. Just the fact that it's in scale with your figures; they can fit in it properly. You've mentioned the cockpit area and things like that, and I just think it's going to look, when it comes to the panels and stuff like that, that's not really something that like is a deal breaker for me. And I don't know whether John wants us to skip ahead of like what if and what this and what could they do to, but I think it was someone on Instagram, if I can remember who it was. I think it's Ultimate Battle Station.
Mm-hmm.
They put out this thing about, because obviously the canteen had a deluxe and a standard version. So like, let's just say, for example, this was the deluxe version and this was the price point for the deluxe version. Is there a world where you just get the gunship and you don't get all the extra panels and maybe you only get one of the stands or whatever?
Yes.
And it's slightly different price, because for me personally, I can actually do without of the, especially when I'm not really going to be army building one of these. And if I was, I'd probably want two in Attack of the Clones, with that scene going on,
It's odd that they offered a stripped down version of the cantina, but not a stripped down version of the gunship that people are obviously going to want more than one of to army build.
Yeah, especially because it's an army builder.
Well, this is the thing. It's like the panels are like almost promoting army building, because if you think about it, it's like if you have it in display, what you're going to do, rotate the panels every couple of months or whatever. For me, those panels are probably just going to be in a box, and I'm never going to look at them again because I just want it as an Attack of the Clones ship, right? Yeah. So for me, they're not really that important. But if there was a standard version and a deluxe version, I'd probably buy the deluxe version because I want, it'd be just good to have those as an option. Yeah. Yes. And then I'd get a single version for a slightly lower price, because then if I wanted to make one of them a Clone Wars version or whatever, then I could. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that was like a pretty good sort of suggestion, maybe, or an observation rather, of why they didn't go that route this time, or route, as you guys say. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, because as I say, those panels do sort of promote army building. And, it's not an army building a figure, it's army building an expensive piece, as it were. So for me, if there was like an entry level version of it, then I probably, if I was just buying one, I'd probably go with that. For the serious collectors, then obviously, as you say, just like the cantina, I've bought one deluxe and two standards because I need the whole thing. Uh-huh. But then, there's other reasons why you buy the sort of smaller version, if you like. But that's just an idea.
I brought this up to Steve, and it seems like they aren't receptive to the idea for whatever reason. I don't really understand why, but what can you do?
But as I say, like I still think the offering. I mean, a lot of people are looking at the price, and the price is the price. I mean, there's not a lot we can do about it. Like, everything's expensive these days. Everything is too expensive these days. Your groceries are too expensive these days. So, but although all of those extra added things are there for whether you'll use them or not. Yeah. But in terms of the
Yeah.
the gunship itself, it's I think it's pretty impressive. I do.
Yeah.
Agreed. So in terms of the price, if we want to talk about that a bit now, I mean,
Yes.
obviously, 450 is a good chunk of change. There's no denying that. We're not denying that, but it is similarly priced to other HasLabs. It's $50 less than the Barge, the Ghost, and the Deluxe Cantina, right in between the basic and Deluxe Cantina price. Annoyingly, there's a $35 surcharge that's listed when you check out, but that's 100% just to cover additional shipping costs in addition to the $6 standard shipping that they list. Shocker, this will probably cost more than $6 to ship across the country or across the world. So in previous HasLabs on the older, better Pulse website, they were listed as one shipping charge. It didn't have a shipping charge plus the $6. It was just one shipping charge. The Cantina was $25. Ghost was $52. Shipping on all of these is free for Hasbro Pulse Premium members. I just know there was enough sticker shock as it is with the $450 price. But then, seeing the surcharge was too much for some people. But again, that's for shipping, and if you have Pulse Premium, then then it is removed. Obviously, there's a lot of factors in the world. There's inflation, there's tariffs, as mentioned here. But
this is it. There's a lot of moving. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that are affecting everything. Do you know what I mean? It's
And while
manufacturing costs going up, everything going up.
Yeah.
And maybe you wanted a cheaper version, like the non-deluxe version or whatever, and say you do back this. If you don't want those panels too, I'm sure you could easily put those on eBay or something and sell off extra panels.
Yeah.
People sell so much random parts for the current gunship at really high prices.
They'll sell like individual rocket pieces because people are missing them. They've lost them over the years or whatever. I want to talk about price real quick. So I've seen a lot of comments from people saying that since this is approximately the same size as the Razor Crest, that it should cost $350. And it's $100 more expensive than that, right? Well, I was watching a video from Blitz Transmissions right here on YouTube. It was a new channel that I just found, but he's a great guy, and I think we might be streaming with him later this week. So tune in for that. But he mentioned in his video, which is great, you should go check it out, that someone in his Discord, I believe, mentioned that $350 in 2020, adjusted for inflation in 2025 dollars, is $434.73. Okay, so that's only a 15-ish dollar difference, right? So it basically does cost the same as the Razor Crest. It's just that when you account for inflation, which unfortunately we do have to accept is part of reality, right? It's just that your dollars are weaker than they were 5 years ago. They're 25% weaker than they were 5 years ago. That's how much value the dollar has lost. Now, I get it. People are uninterested in economics. They want to pretend that this stuff shouldn't apply to toys. It does. It applies to everything. Everything is more expensive. And that's because of inflation. And, like you guys said, the cost of manufacturing and deco and assembly and all this stuff has gone up. So even though when you look at the price tag, it appears to be $100 more expensive, and I guess it is, in terms of the value of those dollars, it's actually the same. I know that's kind of a crazy concept to wrap your brain around, but that's the world we're living in now, guys. We live in an expensive world. We live in a world of inflation and costs going up. So
there's absolutely no way in this world that if they brought out the Razor Crest now, it would cost $350.
Right.
No way.
Right.
More close to 500 probably.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to
with the
get
paint
at
applications and everything on it. I'm sure if they could go back, they probably charged a bit more for it. And I remember when that came out, people were like, "Oh my god, look at the price!"
Yeah,
yeah.
And I just want to say one more thing. People who are like, "Oh, Hasbro is just price gouging us and overcharging just to be a greedy corporation, squeezing every last drop of money out of us." Well, you got to understand, guys, right? They're a company that needs to make profit, but at the same time, they need to offer things at, fair market value at a price that's going to be appetizing and appealing to people and make them actually want to bite. It does not benefit Hasbro to massively overcharge for things for no reason, because that just results in people not buying their products, right? And so that would just result in less backers in the campaign failing, which nets them $0, right? So like there's no, it doesn't make any sense for Hasbro to just charge more for the sake of charging more. Like that's not how this works in terms of a company offering a product. Yes, they have to make a profit margin, of course, as no companies aren't going to make stuff for free, right? Like they're making product for profit, of course. But it doesn't make any sense for them to just radically overcharge for the sake of, I'm going to gouge my customers like that. No. And for people who are saying, well, why is this so much more expensive than the Snowcat, right? Like, you got to remember that Hasbro owns GI Joe in terms of it being an intellectual property, right? They own that franchise. They do not own Star Wars. Disney owns Star Wars, and Disney charges a licensing fee for every piece of merchandise that licensed, manufacturers make that is branded Star Wars. So Hasbro has to pay, a percentage of their profits on their products to Disney because Disney owns the franchise. And that's also going to boost the cost of things, right? So like you need to understand there's a lot of factors here. They aren't just charging $450 to say F you to their fans. Like that's not what's happening here. You can say that it's steep and costly and expensive. I'm not going to disagree with you there, but don't say they're just doing this to just stick it to you. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I just don't. It doesn't make any sense for them to do that. I'm sure people are going to flip that and call me a shill now, but whatever.
I think most people know that the license fee is ridiculous for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially with Disney as well.
Yeah.
Look at Lego. Look how expensive Lego's got for Lego Star Wars, and then you look at like Lego City or whatever in comparison, price per piece or whatever it might be. The Star Wars stuff's always loads more expensive, and the sets are getting smaller as well. If you like, if anyone in the comments is into Lego, the new turbo tank that's just come out is a shadow of the turbo tank that came out in 2014 or whenever it was. Do you know what I mean? So even because and part of that is because the license fee is so high.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Rebel Friend, sorry, you're not a fiend, you're a friend. 2000 pointed out, wanted to mention a lot of states have tax-free periods going. This applied to mine. I'm not sure what states you're in. But 17.28 says, depending on when this is manufactured, you can probably add another 20% for tariffs. Because of the Cantina was sold before any of that happened, the price did not go up. So I assume if they are factoring anything in, they're factoring it in now. Price is not going to change after you back it. Hi, Tanith. Welcome to the party. You should have been correcting me on facts for the last 2 hours, but welcome now, finally.
Jeremy's got a good point about no tariffs to bring into the UK, and also I think there is some sort of commentary around the UK price is the same in pounds as it is dollars.
Right.
So there's no sort of conversion going on there, and it's sort of trying to sort of understand why that is. Maybe Hasbro can speak to that. I know in the past sometimes when they've done that and we've sort of said what's going on, the price has been adjusted for things over the years. I'm not too sure if they will on this, but it is a bit concerning why that there's no sort of adjustment for currency conversion for the UK and for Europe.
Can you highlight AFC Smoke's comment real quick? I just want to bring this up real quick. There's so many people who are just mentally stuck in this like PVC should only cost $10 a figure and vehicles shouldn't cost more than $40. And they're just absolutely stuck in this like 15 years ago price point in their mind where they're like, it's absolutely outrageous that prices have gone up. Well, again, like inflation, number one. Number two, yes, TVC has moved from being sort of trying to straddle both kids and collectors to really leaning into the adult collector market. Okay. Like PVC is primarily aimed at adult collectors who want high quality, detailed, screen accurate figures and vehicles. And, you know, if you're going to demand that kind of detail and quality, you got to pay for it. I mean, you're not, you know, it's like if they've tried to go back to dumbing things down, and you know what? The community overwhelmingly rejected it. They put stupid crap in it like nerfed, and they dumbed things down to 5.28. And you know what? People hated it. They hated it. So now the pendulum has swung in the other direction towards maximum articulation, you know, paint deco, you know, quality and all that stuff. And you're gonna pay for that, guys. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Um, if you want collector level stuff rather than toy level stuff, it's gonna cost you collectible prices. It just is. Again,
toy
someone's gonna
market,
call me a shill rat again.
the
But
toy market in general is like that. There's reasons why there are no like dedicated toy stores, and like, you know, and why your local Walmart, Targets, or whatever over here doesn't carry as much product and have, you know, aisles and aisles and aisles of toys anymore, because, you know, the things that are being made generally are targeted at us, aren't they, adults?
yeah,
So
yeah, it's not, you know, little
kids are
Timmy's
interested in
auntie
other
buying
things.
things for his birthday party. I mean, maybe there's some of that, but the primary consumers are not mommies buying things for Timmy. Okay, like Timmy's grown up now. Timmy's buying
Timmy's
his
right here
own
on our team.
things.
On the
Yeah,
stream.
Timmy's right here in the stream.
Timmy.
All right.
Please use a different name when you're Johnny, little Johnny. There you go.
Yes. Hey, wait a
Little
minute.
Johnny, yes.
Yeah. I buy it all. But all right, so the price is the price.
Everything's pay to play.
Everything sucks in the
Gotta
world
pay
right
to
now.
play,
But
that's
you know
right.
what? Okay. But however, speaking of playing, what can Hasbro do to support this? I will say to goose the campaign along previously with the Ghost, they had some photography about halfway through, which I thought was with the Ghost and the Cantina. They added some photography and some additional videos about halfway through the campaign. I hope they do more of that to show off how cool it is. There is already a really fun video of Chris Rife and the Lucasfilm representative showing off all the features in person. It is more impressive in person. I would encourage you to check this out. You've already spent an hour and 47 minutes here. Spend 15 minutes on that video too after this. So in terms of what other items they can make, Hasbro has supported each of the previous TVC HasLabs with plenty of other figures and world-building items. And all of them had launched when there wasn't a ton of recent support for those themes, like Jabba's Goons, The Mandalorian, Rebels, and Ahsoka, Cantina Aliens. But they did release the suite of supporting items after that fact, including, so we looked over this a couple years ago, but with the sail barge, they released plenty of Return of the Jedi stuff in the years after that. Not just the 1 year after that, but sometimes we got to be a little patient, but they did quite a lot of figures, vehicles, little play sets, and big play sets in terms of Boba's palace. And then with the Razor Crest, I know, Patrick's Promise, the infamous Patrick's Promise. We don't have every single thing that ever interacted with the Razor Crest, but we do have a lot of it. And we have a lot of Mandalorian stuff. We just got the Blurg within the past year, which is not even on this image. These are a little outdated. But it's got, all these different characters that interact with the crest, that fight it or ride on it or, look at it or whatever. They've done a lot. There's more to do. There's always more to do. With the Ghost, in the set, they had all, 4 of the 6 Ghost crew members, and they added 2 more. They pipelined 2 more as they were doing it. We still need some season 1 looks, and a couple other looks for Sabine, and we're just now getting Callus. We got Imperial Chopper this year. And they did a lot for the Ahsoka series as well. So then now we come on to the Cantina, which we got the image for this at Comic-Con also, which should be arriving soon, I guess. We got emails to update our addresses. I think you got them in the UK as well, right, Tim?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully soon. I don't know. But so this was the first time they had a dedicated, poster, a theme, a story, as Steve Evans called it, the Return to Tatooine, which had, an additional playset with the Mos Eisley walls. It had the Bantha, it had the Landspeeder. A lot of this stuff is still not even shipping out yet. The Cantina Adventure set, it's got some new items, it's got some repacked items, some repainted items, all new Luke Han, Ben, updated Sand Trooper, things like that. So, obviously it's not everything that they could have ever done to go with it, but the fact that they are committed now, for years we've been basically begging them to say, look, focus around the HasLabs. These are huge items. We want to, build around them. I see a lot of people in the chat asking for a poll about backing the Ghost, backing the Gunship. Just go get the Gunship. I'm going to mute. Somebody's making a lot of noise. But anyway, okay, so does this mean they're completely done with Tatooine after this? No, of course not. So in the presentation, this is an image from Jeremy Huffman on the Facebook group, but in the presentation they showed that image on the upper left where it showed 4, silhouettes of hands, and these are his guesses, which I think were pretty good. Emily from the brand team mentioned none are re-releases. So it's very likely we'll be getting, Arlel Shoes, looks like that. Maybe just some of these other guys, maybe one of the Spacers, maybe a Bith, maybe a Godel, maybe another Rodian. But
look at Emily. She's always lurking, always watching like the all-seeing eye of Sauron.
So yes, even though the official, the poster is done, the return to Tatooine is done, doesn't mean they're not going to make any more Cantina figures. So that was something to look forward to as well.
Yeah, and re-releases doesn't mean not being smart about using existing tooling to get these figures out. It just means that there's a character that we've had before, like I don't know, Lee Subserlin, for example. You know.
It's not going to be her. So some people pointed out, one of the hands looks like a Bith from the figure in Dan, so maybe it can be, Liren Karn, the other Bith who's sitting at the table, or it could be a different Rodian without the vest or whatever. So, yeah, there's, we're always going to say, with the indoor stuff a couple years ago for the Return of the Jedi 40, there's a couple things we still need. There's a couple things we could always, keep going with the Cantina, filling it up, and doing every rank of Sand Trooper and doing a dewback and everything else, but they are still continuing to build it out. And they have promised they will build out the Battle of Geonosis next year as well. We've already been on here for quite a while, but let's have a little fun here. What do you guys want for this? And I will go back to that quote that Tyler mentioned 3 hours ago, where he said, Mr. Stevie said, this is an image from Great White North Empire on Instagram. Steve said, this truer scale beast holds lots of figs, and the rear bay can fit multiple vehicles, some not even able to talk about yet. Some we can't talk about yet. So that's what he said, which led people to believe it's probably this is again a fan image. Probably the ATRT fits in like that, or the Bark Speeder fits in like that. And here's some more images of what those could look like. These are concepts. Get excited, but not too excited, because the gunship is just the beginning of the.
Because they mentioned that the rear seats can be removed, didn't they?
Yes. Yep. So that the rear seat can be removed, and a ship can fit back there. So some of the ships that fit in there are the ATRT and the Bark Speeder in Clone Wars.
Both of these will be.
Can you go back into the one where that one right there, and just zoom in on the top right corner there, where we can see the ATRT being deployed, and also the Bark, I think, being deployed out the back.
Mm-hmm.
This is the ATRT, and then here's the Bark over here with the sidecar.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
ATRT's in the Mando and Grogu film as well.
Yep.
It is. It is. So I strongly think that Steve is hinting at one or both of those coming. And so, these things are going to interact directly with the gunship, God willing, if it backs. Do you think that Hasbro should reveal, or at least pipeline, something like that that's going to directly integrate with the gunship? My thought is yes. This campaign
Yes.
needs a shot in the arm. And I think that would be the perfect thing to pipeline to get this thing going again, because we've got to make people feel like they need this gunship, not want, not maybe fence it. No, I need this because I need this to deploy my ATRT, or I need this to deploy my Bark Speeder. Come on, Hasbro. This is marketing 101. This is the basics.
And I know that they have kind of moved away from pipelines, as they've said, but as we mentioned previously, the Ghost pipelined Sabine and Chopper during that campaign to say you're going to have the full crew if it reaches 17,000. The Cantina pipelined Luke, Han, Ben, Chewie, and the Hammerhead during the campaign. And, and Bob is pointing out they promised they'd build out the Cantina too. Let me refer you back to this picture. We just had a year of Tatooine-themed products, and we have more coming. They are not done. They did not do nothing. They did quite a bit. So, however,
I just want to
yes,
say,
I would like more. I agree. We need more specifics on it. We don't need everything. I would like to know.
Yes.
I would like to know a couple pipelines. This is where pipelines are.
I'm going to ask the community to help us to pressure. I'm just going to say it outright. I don't care. I need you guys to help us pressure Hasbro to reveal, or at least
Let's say encourage.
something.
Let's say encourage.
I'll say what I said. Anyway, encourage Hasbro to pipeline or reveal something that directly integrates with this gunship. I think they really should do that. I think we need to get this campaign moving. I think once we cross 50%, right? That's like a psychological threshold to where people will go from I'm doubting that this is going to back to this is going to back. And I think that's such an important psychological threshold to pass. And we need something that's going to be a jolt into this project to cross that 50% marker. And then when we get to like the last week or the last 3 days of the campaign, and we get hopefully that FOMO surge, that's what's going to help us cross that finish line and get this thing actually funded. So I need you guys to get out there on the interwebs and encourage Hasbro to do something, because they need to do something in my mind. Not doing anything is not the answer here. And I think the strategy of trust us, good things are coming is not going to cut it. I'm sorry. People need to have their faith restored that this project will be adequately supported. So get in those comments. You know who to encourage. Okay. Get loud and let's get them to act.
And I think and people have been sending that message. I think
keep sending it.
We don't need
it until they do something.
Well, we don't need them to pipeline every single item for next year. Nobody's saying that. We're not asking that.
Right.
And
I'm saying something significant that directly integrates with the gunship, that like goes together with it, right? That's
like if there's a small vehicle that's going to interact with it, like show the thing.
Yes.
Just show that there's
Show
like
the
a
things.
plan. Show that there's some ingenuity going here, that you engineered something that's going to work with it. It like clips in or whatever it's doing, and that you're kind of like planning to really build out this battle.
Yes.
An Instagram comment on somebody else's post is not going to build it. I'll say, first of all, thank you for Marco Martinez. That's awesome. He says, thank you guys for promoting the Gunship HasLab, as I'm getting multiple ones, and my adult daughter is getting hers. A fan of the Clone Wars. We need to support TVC Line 3.75 inch forever. Thank you, Marco Martinez. And agreed.
Yes, thank you very much. Can you highlight Eric Lawson's comment? There you go. If you're watching Hasbro, the community's telling you what you need to do. You only need to listen to them.
So what else?
I'm gonna end this poll, and then I'm gonna ask. And I'm just gonna end that poll. Apparently, 62% of viewers said that they have backed. The other 37% need to go hit the back button immediately.
So, let's just share a couple more. We can go on for all the different concepts we can do, but One that I liked from Greedo Collection was, we've talked about this before, obviously the Officers 4-pack, using the new Clone Trooper body. We saw earlier with this Shock Trooper, but it needs the great, where are my guys? They're over here somewhere.
Big want.
The Ahsoka figure without...
a forward command center with a place.
Yes.
Have you got that?
Now, here's a
there you go.
question.
There you go. You've got it.
Twin Suns mocked
Here's
it
a
up.
question for you guys, though. Would you want the Officers in a carded 4-pack and then just the standard white grunts in a white box? Because that's how I would like it done. I would like the Officers to be on card packs.
Yep.
Personally.
Army
But
builder
either
pack
way, they
should
need
be
to make
army
them
builder
for
packs.
sure.
This is the perfect army builder pack. 4 of the same character. No captains, no Enochs, no named officers. Sure, you can do character pack where it's got 4 named characters, for example.
Look at that,
Exactly.
Tim.
Exactly. What
I'm
are you
gonna
going to
start
do?
listing these on eBay and see if I can get like $10 a pop. $10 a pop for them.
The
Maybe
E
I can
stands
get
for
a whole
Enoch.
gunship out of this bag, right?
You want those guys carded and then just a 4-pack of 4 white Phase 1 clones. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
I
all you
think
need to
that's
do.
the move.
With the non-removable helmet from the Ahsoka Teth
Yes.
501st figure.
Yeah.
Because it's...
That beautiful
they did-
new sculpt.
They did release a Phase 1 Shiny Trooper last year, and it's great, but the non-removable helmet is even better.
So, real quick on this point, I'm going to ask you, John, to scroll back to the picture of the troopers in the gunship.
Oh my God. Okay.
There's a reason why I'm doing this.
Yes, they look... Yeah,
because I think that Hasbro was being sneaky here. If you zoom in on these clone troopers, really zoom in on their helmets, John.
Okay.
These are plain white grunts with the new non-removable helmets. So, is this kind of a pipeline for a trooper pack, or at least a carded repack with the plain white helmets? Because you can tell these are not the fat removable helmets. You can tell these
You
are
can
the
see the
properly-
chins. You can see the
Yeah.
You can see that those are the new swappable helmet sculpt. So I think this is kind of a hidden pipeline. And a lot of people didn't notice this, and I didn't notice it initially either. But when you really look at those helmets, I think we can be confident that some plain white grunts with the new helmet sculpt are coming.
Yeah, well, if they're doing the Battle of Geonosis, they've got to, haven't they? I mean, that's just they just have to.
Yeah.
You know.
Because like I said, I got some of I think I got like 16 of the removable helmet ones, but the new non-removable helmet ones, it's just so much better.
So much better. Can you highlight Grant's comment real quick? Because I do have to agree with that.
It is a digital render though, but
no, that one, yeah, I totally agree, Grant. This is the case of you got to show, not tell, Hasbro. You gotta show. You've got to show your intent to support this, because clearly this project needs some help.
So a couple of the concepts. I know this might be controversial, but this one from Greedo Collection and Findor Moon. I do want the Geonosis battle droid so badly. Now that we have the new legs, we still want the new left arm. I want the new left arm at the very least to hold the blaster. A new left forearm at the very least. Doesn't need to articulate, just needs to be sculpted that way. And then this item, that we saw the forward command center from Twin Suns Collecting. This would be a nice little play set. They could do it where Yoda hangs out with
that. And people
commanders.
have made 3D printed ones that look really cool.
Nice.
So Hasbro, people are eating your lunch. You gotta put out the real thing, man.
And then
I'll buy it.
one of my most wanted is the Ore.
Yep.
This is the Twin Sun, another Twin Suns concept. But this is what the Ore, it has a Geonosian that rides it and like provokes the Nexu and stuff and provokes the other animals. It also has, it attaches to the cart that carries Anakin and Padme out into the arena when we hear across the stars, when they go into the arena, and then it's what they ride on it and they later
use it
when
for
they're
cover
fighting
as well.
Yep. During their aggressive negotiations comment. So this is my personal most wanted. Maybe it won't come next year, and I'm not going to freak out about it, okay? Because the line's not ending. Never before made.
Yep.
So, yes, and then Yakface posted this. What we need for Battle of Geonosis? Heroes, Plenty of Arena Jedi, Geonosians, Droid Army, Beasts, and playsets. I will say I also want the 4 Geonosis pillars, because we got 2 with the playset 20-some years ago, and then we got 2 tinier ones, one with Padme, one with Obi-Wan. They don't match. I would like 4 that match. Finally, this is the hill I'm going to die on. And the Geonosian Sonic Cannon, because it was also planned for the playset and removed. I went a little ham on one of Steve's posts, and I wrote a whole long list. But what else do you guys want to see?
I agree. I think the Ore is the number one thing that they should do. The Ore and execution cart.
C3PO.
Yep.
Oh, good one.
So that was another one where it was kind of surprising that they didn't have it for Return to Tatooine. But
and I've talked about C3PO. God, I'm getting bored of talking about C3PO. But like, there's so many things that you can do with a new C3PO, and the one that's in this is a 2-in-1, because obviously you get the comedic bit where he loses the head and body swap and whatever. But you kind of need that for this. So that might promote a new battle droid and C3PO, because I'm not happy with that 4-pack of battle droids. I don't like that at all. I think this goes back to the Chewie. Like I sort of count troops where you want to build armies of them as main characters. So like if you're gonna do a battle droid, just go the whole hog and do the whole thing. Like you'll sell way more of them, and then you can do more with them going forward.
Yep, there's a lot of repaints they can get to, like from the games as well. Grant's Galaxy is saying Separatist Balcony and all new Newt Gunray. I would prefer the Revenge of the Sith one, but first. But he also has his friend, who I believe he's credited as Lot Dodd, but at the time he was called Gilramos Libcath, and now he's just plain old Rune Hacko, who for some reason looks and sounds completely different than he does in Episode 1 or 3. But either way, I would like Newt Gunray's weird friend. Maybe he had a bad facelift that day.
I need that Shock T, and I need that super battle droid.
Another one I'm seeing people mention is the Republic Commando, right? Because the Republic Commando game, their first mission is on Geonosis, right?
Yes.
I think. But they're kind of famous for. I mean, actually, is the whole campaign on Geonosis? I'm trying to remember.
No, it goes through Kashyyyk and everything.
Okay. It's been so long. Forgive me, guys. I'm sorry. But all that to say, people want a brand new Commando, not based on Hunter. They want a brand new one. This would be a good year for that.
Yeah, bring back Comtech chips for C-3PO so he can say, this is such a drag, and all these all his puns. Let me just run down. I wrote a very long list on Stevie.
What about these guys? Sorry, John.
Yeah, go ahead.
These guys are tough to get,
yes.
aren't
they?
They are.
And that one, that's either Sun Fac or that was another one that was based on him that was in the Geonosian sets. Would you guys be okay with a repack of that one? Because I think that one's pretty good.
We don't have any Geonosians that don't have swivel hips, though, right? Someone told me.
Yeah, it does have swivel hips.
Yeah.
The legs are a little funny. I mean, just its like design is kind of odd. It's not a terrible figure, but they could always do better.
I think it would be worth upgrading those to have not swivel hips.
Yeah.
But he's a better neck joint as well. The head's on like a ball. It's you don't get much range with it at all.
Also, like, who knows that they even still have that tooling for some reason.
Yeah.
And it says
the body is not accurate.
Regular Geonosian shouldn't have Sun Fac's shirt on. There you go. Thank you, Tanit. This is why we need you the whole time. Okay, let me run down my long lists that I sent on Mr. Stevie's post. Go give it 100 more likes. We need new figures that they can be based on the Black Series digital sculpts. Padme Amidala Geonosis, Yoda, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Shakti, Super Battle Droid, and Destroyer Droid. We need who's chewing over there?
Sorry,
that's me
with my bag.
Are you eating some peanut butter M&Ms too?
No, I was just putting the figure away into a bag.
Okay, that's fine. I'll allow. New figures with new sculpts. Obi-Wan Kenobi, C-3PO, as you said. Plo Koon that's accurate to the movies, not just based on Mace Windu like the Black Series figure was. Boba Fett, a Boba Fett that can mostly be reused for Omega, has not been updated since 2002. And then Padawan Tan Yester, Agent Kolar's Padawan, who can probably share parts with Torben. Stas Ali and Boltar Swan, who can probably share parts, along with Jeki. I need repaints. I need the Clone Officer 4-pack. I need R2-D2 with jets on a car. That would be so awesome, finally. They had some removable jets a couple years ago for the Galaxy's Edge figure, which was a Target, but it was made by Hasbro. Very confusing. I said the Geonosian Warrior, but could be updated a bit. I need retools. I need another Episode 2 Anakin based on the Revenge of the Sith and Ahsoka figure with that new Jedi Spirit forearm and a new head. I need a Geonosis battle droid, at least with a left forearm, ideally all new. I need a Smiling Kit Fisto based on the TVC figure with a new head, add rocker ankles. We've never had a Smiling Kit Fisto, for God's sake. That's one of my favorite parts of the scene, and we don't have a smiling one. We have a grimacing one. World building items, we need Ore with execution cart, never before done. Sonic cannon, never before done. Arena pillars, I already mentioned it. Forward command center playset, never been done. Droid factory playset, that's what I want. You can connect, buy 40 of them, make a giant droid factory. That would be so awesome. Jango Fett's Starship Slave 1, repaint it again. Why not? It'll be $3,000 this time, but I'll take it. And then obviously a Bark speeder, as we said, not seen in Attack of the Clones, but I also want a Republic speeder bike. In the original deleted scenes of Attack of the Clones, they ride the brown speeder bikes from Return of the Jedi, but we already have that in Revenge of the Sith. Stas Ali rides on a white and red speeder bike with Republic colors. I brought it up before. I'm bringing it up again. Here's the one we already have.
The Return of the Jedi style swoop bike, right? Yeah.
Yep. So do that. They made a Stas Ali with a bike, but it was her Bark speeder. Incorrectly, inaccurate, wrong. So we need a new one, and if they could, that'd be another fun one.
As wrong as a gray.
As wrong as a gray pauldron. So don't even bring it up. But
you mentioned RT. You mentioned RT there with the jets.
Yeah.
It was the 3.75-inch Black Series one and the Last Jedi one that came with jets, right? It wasn't just a Disney one, was it?
No,
Ooh,
so
Saber Tank, yes.
You're right. The yes, I forgot about the
and the Solo 2-pack. It came with that as well. The
yes,
one.
the Solo one.
Yeah,
that's based on the Build-A-Droid, right? Because the Black Series 3.75 is based on the R4G9 sculpt, which is not removable. So okay. So I'll take it again. I think it would be a nice card with R2 zoom in towards the camera. Some of these things, everything it would be great if everything was all new. As we saw with Return to Tatooine, it would probably not be all new. A Saber Tank would be awesome. But so the speeder bike is one of those things that they can just repaint that I would like to see.
The chances of a new TX-130 Saber class Republic fighter tank are slim to none, but I would love them to do one of these in definitive quality, like the hover tank. If you ever played the Clone Wars video game where you play as like Anakin and Mace Windu and maybe Obi-Wan too. I can't remember what other characters you play. It's mostly a vehicle-based video game, but you spend a lot of time in the fighter tank on Geonosis, and it's super fun. Someday they should redo this. But anyway, one of my favorites.
The Dooku's speeder was a good shout.
Yep.
Because we've got a Dooku, but kind of need the gunship to back really to make that one really worthwhile.
Because yes, and a lot of these they will be doing the Battle of Geonosis stuff whether or not it backs. But a year from now, I don't want to be saying, "Oh man, this stuff is so cool. I wish we had a new Republic gunship to go with it."
Yes. I want to
Yeah.
stress this to everyone. That is the centerpiece for everything else that's going to come next year. Everything that's coming next year over the course of the next 12 to 18 months, pretty much, right? That is focused on the Battle of Geonosis theme is already planned. It is coming regardless of whether or not the gunship funds. It is pretty much set in stone. So aren't we going to feel silly and stupid when we have all this stuff that surrounds the gunship, but we don't have the freaking centerpiece? Come on, guys. We got to get this thing to pass the finish line. We've got to get this thing backed.
I have a bunch of stuff that looks better than our old
the
gunship.
centerpiece, and our displays are it's going to be silly. It's going to be real silly, and people are going to have regrets if this thing doesn't pass. I'm telling you.
So what do we got to do?
Make it happen.
We
got to back the LAAT, get the gunship.
We got to get the gunship, back that LAAT up,
the
get the gunship, get to the gunship. All the hashtags. We all kind of threw out hashtags at the same time. And let me see. There was somebody had a new Nexu would be cool. New Geonosians. You want to be able to say, we've captured a command post. Yes, for all the Battlefront
We've lost
fans.
the command post.
And then I got to do it. Speaking of remakes, I got to break it out for you. Toys are the way. You're always asking.
Do it.
But what does Poggle say? He says, get the gunship, but translated into Geonosian, it's. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's worth at least.
My favorite.
At least you got to back 5 now for that. At
Yeah,
least,
if you're not
please.
backing after that, I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
I don't know. I'm tapped out after the Poggle voice. So. Shall we wind it down? I think we're about good here. It's been 2 hours, 15 minutes. It's tomorrow for Tim already.
Yeah,
Everybody.
I think we've pretty much said everything that we need to say. Right?
And we'll say more. We'll still have more support posts and talk about all the different Jedi we can do. There'll be plenty more to come on this over the next month. So if you're tired already, I'm sorry, but we're gonna keep talking about it. As these HasLabs, they're a marathon. They're not a sprint, folks. This one might be a little more difficult to finish than others, but we'll still get there in the end. So yes, you have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on September 8th to back this beauty. You are not charged until the end of the campaign. So yeah, I'll say it again. You're not charged until the end of the campaign. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate the nice comments. Back now. So yes, anything else you want to say, Tim? Anything else you want to say?
No, I just hope it backs, man. I just, I want us to be, what is it? 5 for 5? How many have we had? How many successful HasLabs have we had?
4 successes.
Yeah.
We've had 4 successful. Come on. We want to, we want
We
to
got to keep our record perfect, right?
Yeah.
We can't let those Black Series guys give us any ammo for saying,
No, we absolutely cannot.
Also true.
And Tim, where can folks follow you? I'm sure everybody knows, but
YouTube, Instagram, Boss Bounty. That's all you need to know, really.
Nice. All right. Thank you. And
Thank you for inviting me on. It's been good.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
And Toys are the way. What about you? Anything else? Where can folks find you?
Find me on YouTube and Instagram as well. Toys of the Way. Also, thanks for having me. Love talking with all you guys.
Thanks for being here.
TVC and just collecting stuff.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tyler. Where can folks find you?
Yeah, I'm just some guy on the interwebs. Do we want to spend like 5-ish minutes just answering any questions that anybody's got?
Oh, we already said goodbye. I think we've covered a lot of the questions already. We've been doing it as unless there's anything. If there's anything major anybody has to say, you can find us on Instagram.
Fair enough.
But yes, go ask Hasbro to pipeline more stuff. Nicely, politely. I know that was polite. Encourage. Don't pressure.
Yes. Yeah.
But yes, follow Tyler at SWCollector3.75 on Instagram. Follow me at The Vintage Concepts. I just finished up my Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary because I'm very slow on these things. Now I would like to get to Andor Season 2, maybe. I'll probably save it for after the HasLab campaign. We got some Geonosis stuff we got to do. So follow us, follow them, like their videos, subscribe to their videos, like our video, like this video right now. Like and subscribe. If you see a like and subscribe anywhere, just go ahead and do it. I don't know what's going on. Do like, subscribe, and get the gunship. And as always, back 375, all that good stuff.
Spread the good word. Tell your grandma to back one. Like
the count has gone up 3 in this 2 hours we've been doing this, so we just got to keep doing this continuously until it backs in a month.
For the next month, continuous live stream.
So thank you, everybody. Good night. Thanks for watching. Back 375 and get the gunship. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.